Hello.
What's up, Vibe Tribe?
ATL Beats. Derek, what's up? Razorblade, what's up? Yo, welcome in.
It is Wednesday, end of April. Years flying by already. How's everyone's week going so far?
What's up, Eugene? Appreciate you hopping in. Ray Osborne, what's up? All right, so let's get this.
Welcome in. If this is your first time, welcome to the Vibe Tribe. We're happy to have you. All the info can be found at the link tree in Torvik's profile. If you're interested in what it is that we do here, all the instructions, there's an FAQ section that you can find on there. We got all kinds of fun stuff at that link tree as well. Our Discord, our website, theobsidiankey.com.
Hold up. All right, I think I should have everything updated. Daenerys, what's up? How are we doing? Caterpillar, what's going on? Keelan, appreciate you hopping in. Havoc, welcome in. Welcome in. How y'all feeling today? What's up, Havoc? Appreciate you hopping in. Y'all tap the screen, share out the live. If you want to get the music started, we got to get to 5,000 streams. 5,000 streams. What are we saying? 5,000 likes and 20 shares. Glad to hear it. Real see what's up, Jamie. Welcome in, y'all. Welcome in. Zaza, what's up? Appreciate you hopping in. Y'all, welcome in. Tap the screen, share out the live. If you would like to submit, go to my link tree, click on Track Talk Submission, read through and follow all of the steps. You'll be ready to go. You can join us on our main platform, which is the purple app, where you can see the line, the order, the minimums, and the chats from all the different platforms that we're live on. Angelique, appreciate you hopping in. Welcome in. If you are on the purple app, then you can just hit ! submit, and all of the details will pop up right there for you. And we'll get things moving here in just a minute. In fact, I think we're going to start off the live with a bit of a giveaway today. We'll get some people up on the board. So y'all get tapping the screen, share out the live, all that good stuff. What's up, Chucky? Welcome in, man. Talk about Bull Rider track. Oh, what is the Bull Rider track? I'm not sure what that is. Callista, welcome in. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Y'all keep tapping the screen, share out the live. Appreciate y'all hopping in. If you want to read a little bit more about what we do, you can always go to my link tree and click on Track Talk Submission, read through and follow all the details, read a little bit more about what we do, how we do it, why we do it that way, all that good stuff. Chase Samples, welcome in. Welcome
Hey, Chase,
in. Good to
I
see you,
think we
Chase.
still have credit for you if you have some time today.
Let me see.
I'm pretty sure.
Let's back up. Rock Bottom, what's up? The Dreamverse. Am I saying that correctly? Thanks for hopping in. I appreciate you being here.
How are you doing, Chase? Good to see you. Am I missing it?
Gas Money, what's up? Hey, welcome from Canada. Appreciate you hopping in.
Yeah, welcome in.
It's all coming through. Perfect.
Yep. I could have sworn we had one.
Got you with that. What's up, Blaze?
If you guys are interested in what it is that we do here, all the information can be found in the link in Torvik's profile.
Let's go, Chase. Let's go. Yeah, I got you with that. Let me just double check some things. Real quick.
I know. I'm so excited, Chase. Do you remember how much your credit was for?
Or if you had some, or if you used it the last time you were in. What's up, Bardley? Welcome in.
Did we? I don't know. Can't remember.
Oh, I love to hear it, Chase.
Ooh.
Man in the Clouds, welcome in.
That's pumping me up even more.
Man in the Clouds, these are long form music and branding consultations. So we get into the details of the mix and master, production elements, sound design, lyric and song structure. We're going to get into branding, aesthetics, style, image, go through social platforms, also go through like Spotify profiles, things of that nature, in order to offer independent or more underground artists maybe some tools that could help them improve on the quality of their creative expression. And
Definitely.
that's kind of the whole structure of what we do here. These aren't reviews. There's no trash or pass. There's no ratings or polls or anything like that. But these are kind of long form breakdowns and analysis and consultations on the structure. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
And then Chase, just a reminder that we do have a newer submission form since you've been in. So it's at the link tree. I think you'll see a link that says Track Talk Submission. I'm pretty sure is what it says.
Yellow, what's up? Yeah, because I don't have an email in, so that's probably.
I think it probably went to the old one. I think I got
sure.
it. Yeah.
For sure. Sai, what's up? Appreciate you hopping in.
Welcome in, Yellow Punk. Good to see you guys. Happy Wednesday, guys. How's everyone's week going? Welcome to the Vibe Tribe. If this is your first time, we're really happy to have you.
Let's go. Peter Pete, welcome in. Appreciate you hopping in. And then I have that 10. I double checked the list and I'm not seeing it. So just you update me on what you think, Chase. I'm not seeing anything, so I'm wondering if it was used last time. Just double checking because I know it's been a minute. Just want to make sure everything's in the right space.
I feel like we didn't get to play him last time, so I don't know. I feel like it's been a while since I've heard Chase samples.
I'm usually pretty.
No, yeah,
on
we wouldn't have missed that, but I don't know. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, because it's probably been a month and a half or something, or at least maybe 2 months or so since you sent anything in, and I do remember a recent-ish one, so I think that was the last one. I might be getting confused with K Beats as far as saving. I'm usually pretty locked in because it's really easy for me to keep track of everything.
Might ask if you two can do your song by Elton John. Sorry for the challenge.
Okay, so we were saying, Chase, make sure that you go because I think probably since the last time you did send in, it's a new submission form. We've had a new one for the last month and a half, 2 months or so. So go to my link tree, click on Track Talk Submission, and then read through and follow all those steps there. That'll get everything organized for us. It'll get the email into the right space, all that good stuff. And yeah, that way everything's locked in. I have to get it all in front of me because I think we saw an email go to, on our phones, go to the other email, but I want to make sure it goes to the one that's in front of us here.
That's on the desktop.
And then the updated lines and everything, yeah. The one that's on the desktop.
What song by Elton John?
Y'all keep Global, welcome in. Appreciate you hopping in. If y'all want to submit, go to my link tree, click on Track Talk Submission, read through and follow all the steps there. You'll be headed in the right direction. Neo, thanks for hopping in. The music will begin when we get to 5,000 likes and 20 shares.
What's up, Neo? Likes. Good to see you. How's everyone's week going? If this is your first time in, welcome to the Vibe Tribe. We're happy to have you. All the info on what it is that we do here can be found at the link tree in Torvik's profile. And then if you're on Twitch, you can just do !submit, which is really nice.
Felice, appreciate you hopping in. Y'all, welcome in. We're gonna get a flow in here in a bit. Y'all just keep tapping the screen like in the live.
Sharing it out.
If you feel up to it, you can join us on our main platform, which is the Purple app. Right over there, you can easily see the line order minimums, all of that good stuff, and easily submit from there by hitting !submit, join the Discord, !Discord, so on and so on. It's really easy over in that app. You're also going to get better quality audio over there, being a largely music-based platform. That is helpful as well because it's uncompressed audio. So if you want to join the main vibes over there, then you definitely can. But of course, if you're more comfortable over on the talk, then you can happily stay over there. Jay Bird, appreciate you hopping in. But if you do want to see what we're all about, if you do want to see the details and see what you need in order to submit your music for a long form consultation, then go to my link tree, click on Track Talk Submission, read through and follow all the steps, and you will be ready to go. Rebel, appreciate you hopping in. Miss Rebel, appreciate you being here. Got you, Chase. So you're in the right place then, because I got you updated too. Let's go. I'm excited to hear a
definitely
Chase sample song. Is
something
this,
newer?
Is this heavy? Yeah. I got you, and then I'll just wait for that email to come in. Is this heavy? You going lighter, more melodic? Because I think the last one I heard from you was about as heavy as you'd gone before. heavy, double on the heavy. I love it. Every time Chase comes in, he's like, I think this might be the heaviest one, I've done.
Yeah, maybe actually the last one we heard was that YouTube one. I think there was a YouTube video with it.
And I know you had the vocalist on it. Bold Justice, welcome in. Super versatile.
Dude, that's the last
vocalist.
one we heard, actually. The one with the vocalist.
Yeah, it has been a minute. Paris, welcome in. Paris, right out. How are you feeling today? Derek Bennett's in the building. How you doing, Derek? Y'all keep tapping the screen, share out the live. We're gonna get moving in a bit.
Yeah, what's up, Derek?
We're
Good to
chilling
see you.
until then.
How's everyone's week going? We're halfway through it.
What's up, man? Good to see you, bro. How are you feeling today? Poison.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome.
There you go, Derek. I love it. Yep, Chase just came in. Just got the notification.
Okay, perfect.
You're set. You are ready to go on the list. If you want to see the list at any point, you can easily go to my profile, click on the link tree and click on see the line. Or if you join us on Twitch or YouTube, then you can always see the lineup. You can see minimums, orders, all that stuff constantly.
What's up, Gabriel? Good to see you.
Gabriel and Fitted, welcome into the live. Appreciate you hopping in. Fitted Santana, the legend.
Fitted Santana.
Fitted Santana. It's time. Gabriel, how you feeling too? Good to see you. KOL, what's up? Y'all keep tapping the screen. Let's get to 5,000 likes. As soon as we hit 5,000 and 20 shares, y'all's beautiful music, or in Chase's case, heavy, gritty, intense music begins. Lokes in the building. What's up, Lokes? Good to see you.
Lokes.
WJ Kelly, welcome back as well. Welcome back. Good to see you.
I have to say what's in front of me. I'm that simple.
I know. Some people have been in enough that I just remember the other four names and whatever.
Nano, what's up?
Let's go, Chase. What are you working with? I'm sure we can talk about it more when we get to your song.
Heck yeah, Chase. Let's go.
But I love to hear that. Are you talking new guitars,
too.
new interface for the guitars? I know you've been pushing your collection, so I'm excited to hear what's changed on your end. Bonafide Bravo sounds familiar. New guitar tone, new EQ, new drums. Let's go. What are you using for drums now? What were you using previous?
Let's go, Lokes. I love that.
I love that, Chase.
Yeah, Chase, you're really stepping it up. That's exciting.
I'm getting some variety out of your sound. You know what I mean? Music. Okay, cool.
Oh, okay.
That they do. I'm assuming by default of what you're saying that they do music, they rap, they produce something like that. Willow Bar, welcome in. Appreciate you hopping in. I love that, Chase. You're just gonna get more variety out of your sound. Like that's, part of the reason why I've built up such a collection of random things is because you have more tools at your disposal, right? Whether that's different drum VSTs, Get Good, Hertz, whatever it may be, in the different amp sims and stuff like that. Is that you just have different tones, so you don't get like too locked into like the bubble of your own sound. Like you still have your own like sampling choices, but at least you have some variety to what you're doing, which is nice.
Chase samples, sampling.
Yeah, I only have one or two neural DSPs. I think they're expensive, right? They're like $200 a piece, or some might be cheaper, but I love them, man. They're such a great interface, so much. I mean, I have the Nolly one, which I've used for a long time, but it's like literally being able to like choose the mic that's on the amp and where that mic is placed and whether you mic two in stereo and they're two different mics in two different places and formats, and then actually like mix on the graphic EQ and add your pedals, and like it's such a great interface for guitar. I'm obsessed. I love it. It'd be cool at some point to get like their DSP pedal, because you can basically download those into the pedal and use them right there, which is sick. Neurals, yeah, they're the best. They came on the market and just like took over. They just took over, man. They're such high quality Sims. I love them. Yo, keep tapping. We're at 1.4K. We have 3,600 more likes before we kick off the music.
3,600 likes and 20 shares.
And 20 shares. As soon as we get there, we'll kick it off with Chase samples. Or at least that's where we're at right now. If you do want to submit, go to my link tree, click on Track Talk Submission, read through and follow all the steps. Check the line by clicking on See the Line, or you can always just hop over to Twitch or YouTube, which they are always up, ready to go.
Yep. Highly recommend keeping the line up throughout the live, just so you know exactly where you're at, and you can control when you go, basically.
Helen Huff, thanks for hopping in. Joe, appreciate you hopping in. Y'all, welcome in, y'all. Tap the screen, share out the live, and we'll get flowing in a minute. What's up, Stan? I appreciate you hopping in. Y'all, welcome in. We are just kicking. We haven't even heard the first song yet. We're just kicking things off, waiting for things to catch up, and then we'll be ready to go here in just a minute. Make sure y'all are sharing out the live. Tap the screen. We'll get flowing here in a minute. If you want to submit, Linktree, Track Talk, Submission, read through, follow the steps. Or if you're at our purple app, the main platform, you can hit ! Submit. Everything will pop up directly for you there. We'll get it flowing here in just a bit. We're just waiting on 5,000 likes and 20 shares, and then we'll get the music moving. Let me know, is there anyone in the chat right now that has never been heard here before? You've never gotten a consultation on Track Talk before? Let me know if you're in the chat. Hop in the chat. If you are new to this community, you've never been here before, if you've never been heard before, if you have been here, let me know. Hop in the chat. If you make music, you produce, you engineer, whatever it may be. Today. All right, Chase, it looks like it is up to you and Libby right now to just get us to 5K and 20 shares. Big guy, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you hopping in. Robert, welcome in. Appreciate you being here. We are heavily relying on Chase and Libby to kick us off right now. Let's go.
That's funny.
Chase,
Chase carrying the load.
I'm doing what I can. He's like, I got 2,000 likes up there. Thank you for the follow, Big Guy. I appreciate you a lot. Y'all keep tapping the screen, share out the live, and then we'll get flowing here in a second. Make sure y'all are sharing as well. 20 shares and we'll kick off. 20 shares for 5,000 likes.
Let's see. Let me get some of our regulars in here.
What's up, Julia? Thanks so much for hopping in. Welcome in. Joseph's in the building. Joseph, how are you feeling today? Julia, 100%. If you would like to, if anyone here wants to submit their music or their branding or style, stuff like that, we do a couple different things here. If you would like to submit, go to my link tree, click on Track Talk Submission, read through it, and follow all the steps there, and you will be ready to go. I would love to get some people on the board. Some in the community donated extra yesterday in order to help boost some of y'all and give you a chance to be heard. So if you are in here and you have never been heard before, drop in the chat. If you have never been heard here in Track Talk and you make music, you produce, you mix, whatever it may be, drop in the chat. Let me know that you're here, and you might give yourself a nice little boost.
You might get a discount.
What's up, Bronson? Let's go, Julia. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, Joseph.
Joseph, I'm sorry. That sucks, man. Bronson Bragg, welcome in. Okay, Julia, I'm going to drop...
Also, Joseph, I haven't forgotten about your Instagram DM. I will respond to that as soon as possible.
good. I mean, better now than, I mean, I've even just had random stuff like that happen with like
and it accrues more.
Like tolls and something like that. And then we move and they don't ship it in time or whatever happens. It gets lost in the mail and we just forget about it. And next thing you know, it's like $150 of tolls. You're like, what in the world's going on?
I feel like maybe we can give somebody a discount on their push. If they send the minimum, then we can always give them a boost. Julia said she's never been heard. Julia, do us a favor and go check out all the instructions on the website. So if you go to Torvik's Linktree, in his bio, you will see Track Talk submission. Read through all those steps. And since you're new here, it's your lucky day. Somebody donated to give someone a boost, and we'd like to give it to you.
Yeah, so if the next person that gets on the board that hasn't been heard here before, we'll give you a nice little boost. We'll give you a little bit of a push to help you all out a little bit.
Yeah, congratulations, Julia.
Let's go.
It's a really, really generous and super cool community, guys.
I love it.
So if this is your first time, welcome to the Vibe Tribe. We have enough to push Julia and one other new person. It's been a while since Chase has been here, too. We could throw you a 5, too, Chase.
Joseph's new.
Do you have music to share, Joseph? Yeah, new people. Welcome in, Andre.
I love that bass on the bottom.
I know.
Somebody hurting till I feel safe. Andre, appreciate you hopping in. Y'all keep tapping the screen. We are almost there. We're almost to 5K. I feel that, Joseph.
Yeah, totally get that.
Let's get to 20 shares as well, y'all. Send it out to a couple people. Music begins at 20 shares. 20 shares and 5,000 likes. And yeah, the next people to get up on the board are gonna get a little bit of a bonus. We get pushed a little bit. If you would like to submit or read more about what we do, just go to my link tree, click on Track Talk Submission, read through and follow the steps there. You can always check us out on our main platform, which is the purple app. You can find that at my link tree as well by clicking see the line or the Twitch logo or anything like that. And you can see the order, the minimums, kind of where the board's at and stuff like that as we start to go along the course of the live.
Yep, we are just getting started for today.
Yeah.
Algorithm's been a little bit slower at the beginning lately, so we just roll with it.
Hell yeah. And then about like 2 hours in yesterday, it picked up a bit and things got a little more interesting.
It really took off at the end of our live, so that's perfect.
Hiding.
Okay, so the first person to get their credit up on the board as at least the minimum.
Yeah.
So you have some skin in the game, and then we'll boost you.
Yep. Shout out to Kaylin, always so generous, always helping boost the community, give them some support.
If you're new, it's important that you read through all the steps just so you know how this live works and what to expect. That way there are no surprises. There's also an FAQ section, terms and conditions, all that fun stuff.
Yeah. And then, okay, 5K, there we go. Let's get to the 20. Let's get to the 20 shares, and then we'll
so whoever gets their minimum up, the minimum's 15 right now. Later in the live, the minimums do go up, but right now it's still just 15 since we're getting started. And then we'll give you a boost.
All right.
I'd like to give Chase a boost because he's the first that got on the board today.
Definitely. Scully, welcome in. Appreciate you hopping in. Draku, what's up?
And then if there's any excess, of course, then that automatically gets saved for another consultation.
Right.
Boom. Chase got us the shares.
Let's go.
Chase gets an extra 10.
We're going to kick it off. So let me save that for you because we're going to go ahead and kick it off with your song, it looks like. So.
Yeah, so you'll have some 10 in credit. Chase,
And
for
I
next
know
time.
I have it on here now, so.
Or of course you can use it however you want. If you want to donate it.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, hell yeah. All right, let's run it, y'all. Let's get into some music. Keep tapping the screen, keep sharing out the live, especially if you feel like you know artists, producers, engineers that would benefit from what we're doing here at Track Talk. Definitely let them know. But let's get into it. Well, last time before we kick it off, if you do want to send in your music, your branding, your image, your style, things that you're working on for releases and promotions, stuff like that, then go to my link tree, click on Track Talk Submission, read through, follow all the steps, and you'll be ready to go. Or hang out for a minute, see what we're all about.
Definitely
read the vibes, read the room a little bit, and see kind of what's going on here as far as like a consultation platform like this on TikTok and Twitch and YouTube. So let's get into it. We have an unreleased instrumental, so no vocals on this one for Chase this time. It's heavy. It's heavy. That's all I know. Let me get it downloaded.
I'm excited.
Same, always. And then A sharp neural 2 test. All right, so you're testing the new sim on this one, right? All right, any details, you know the deal, Chase Samples. Any details you might have on the structure of this, let me know, man. You know, I'm all ears when it comes to details and kind of where you're wanting to, hardest thing I've ever made. Let's go.
I'm excited.
Any details on where you want to take this, what your goals are, and especially if you're looking at anything on the branding and social side, Spotify, things like that, let us know. Let's get into it. This is an unreleased instrumental by Chase Samples. It took me 6 hours to record the second verse. I love to hear that. It just means that there was some effort put in. There's some time and attention put in, or that it was just so difficult that it took you a lot of takes, both of which I appreciate. You got it right. Let's go. Chase Samples.
I don't know how I'm supposed to keep doing this. I mean, I stopped eating. I'm sick.
Are these the new drums? Or not yet? T-Show, what's up? Nice.
Let's go, Chase.
What's up, Fitted? Good to see you back, man. Any plans for vocals on this? Or are you just waiting this out instrumental? Beautiful. Love it. I was going to say, there's a lot of space for a vocalist here, so I'm glad it's going to be filled.
Sick.
Love those like bell tones at the top. Is that like a synth? Or are you playing that super dry and then affecting it? Nice. I like that.
So nice, Chase.
But the story doesn't end well.
Let's go, Chase. Come on,
Sick.
man. Show some love.
Guys, if you're not already tapped in with Chase Samples here in the TikTok chat, what are you doing? Definitely
Chase is a
tap
beast.
in. Make
Been
sure
here
to
from the
follow on all
beginning.
platforms.
Been here from the beginning. So talented. Everything that you're hearing right there was produced by Chase. Incredibly, incredibly talented. Let's get straight into
So
it. Let's run it from the
talented.
top. If y'all do want to submit, go to my link tree, click on Track Talk Submission, read through and follow all the steps. We're just getting started. This is our first
Yeah,
song. We
Craig,
just got
welcome
on.
in. We actually have some good news. Whoever hops on the board next gets some more credit.
Yeah, get some free credit. All right, let's run it from the top. This is Chase Samples. This is just an unreleased instrumental. There's going to be vocals on here. I've heard the vocalist before. Wildly talented. Can't wait to hear this finished out a little bit. My first thought, which is the reason why I asked, is there was a lot of space, especially getting into like the hook of the song. There's a lot of like frequency space for something else to live there, whether it's like really noisy synthesis, something with like a lot of like modulation and noise filtering, or more guitar if that was going to be the case. But I like that there's going to be a vocal there because that gives me context on the fact
It's
that there is
perfect for
space for a vocal to actually live in this mix and it's not too overwhelming.
You know, make sure we update the line just so people know it's wide open and
Yeah.
they don't have to skip Chase.
Exactly. Good call. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into it, man. I'm excited.
I love that. You guys make a really great team.
Honestly, man. I'm excited for y'all. All right, let's run it from the top.
I don't know how I'm supposed to keep doing this. I mean, I stopped eating. I'm sick.
It would be cool, just really quick, since I'm like kind of rehearing this for the first time again. It would be really cool. This is up to you. Do whatever you want. The harpsichord is so like quantized and clean or whatever as an acoustic instrument. It would be cool to like layer. What's up, Jenna? It would be cool
Hi,
to
Jenna.
like
Happy
layer
Wednesday.
the harpsichord with like some church bells or something like that, right? Something that detunes. It's so pure and plucked and clean compared to the tension of everything else. It'd be nice to have something that modulates a little bit more, like a church with that kind of
be cool.
it could be so quiet, but it just basically like detunes the harpsichord by just a bit, so it doesn't feel too digital, right? Too artificial compared to how incredible the talent of your guitar is, right? I think it would just make it feel a little darker, little moodier. Play around with something like that, whether it's like a marimba or like some kind of a xylophone or something like that, or like I think a church bell would be cool because it's
Yeah, it
so
would.
ringy and nasty sounding. I think it would make it sound almost Halloween, and I don't even know if
Fix
that's
the
really the
not fix it. Make it more gothic vibes.
yeah,
which I
100%,
love, yeah.
100%. All right, something you could play around with. I don't think it needs to be prominent, but I think it would be something you could layer tightly with the harpsichord throughout the whole song that would give it a little bit of tension, a little bit of detune that I think would help it feel a little bit more natural. All right, let's run it.
I'm sick.
Sounds good, Jenna.
I wish I could do what Nick does. Just go crazy.
Sorry, excuse me.
Low A sharps. Are you seven string low A sharp there? On that low. Like is that low? You're probably D tune, A sharp on a 7, 6-string baritone, and then are you just detuning all the way down? What's up, Joe? Yeah, super drop. I mean, you've got to have enough tuning tightness and like a good enough gauge of string to be able to handle detuning down, like drop tuned all the way to A sharp on a 6-string. Crushing it, dude. Like I think the thing that I'm more and more impressed with you as you go along, hearing more of your music, is how intentional you need to be in order to do what it is that you do. It's not as easy as just just also a 27-inch scale guitar. What? Like you're you have to do so many things right. You can't just like take your Stratocaster and like go to drop D and call it a day or something like that. You have to be really intentional with the guitar, your action, your setup, what you're using string wise, the gauge of string that you're using. All of those things matter when you're dealing with something like this. So I'm just impressed. I'm impressed continually by the intention that you put behind your music. Super cool, man.
Absolutely.
almost a bass at that point. So like in here, one thing I would look for would be a little bit of bass presence. Again, you have plenty of room over at the top for that vocal line to come in. As you build in vocals, as you like facilitate this mix a little bit more, I would love to get like a little more energy between 100 and 200 hertz, just because it is, you get some from your rumbles, some from your transitions, some from the guitar, but you are missing like a little bit of low end presence there that I would love to like feel the energy of this track a little bit more without having to rely on like your kick, right? Because the kick should be like sharp, super transient, really attacky, right? You just want to hear that batter head. So I think everything you're doing on the drum side sounds really clean and sharp and all the good stuff. I would love to get a little bit more of that low end presence without relying on EQ to do it.
Thank you so much for being here, Craig.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, man. Because otherwise you're going to rely on EQ curves in order to create that low end presence, which I just think is going to make it sound muddy and nasty, and you don't want that. I still want to get the attack of your double track guitars. I still want to get all of that energy there. So I think whatever you're using for bass presence, whether you're detuning guitars or playing bass or programming bass, maybe give it a lift in the mix. Maybe give it a little bit of almost like Pultec style 100 hertz crank at the bottom end just to give it some pump in the mix. But besides that, man, I think you're already headed well in the right direction. Get those vocals on there from Nick, and you're gonna this is gonna fly, man. You're crushing it. It is heavy. I can't scream. This makes me want to. Like you get your like your bass drops and your rumbles there, but then it lets off because there's no actual like bass frequency right there to actually like fill in the gap once that drops. So you lose a little bit of energy after your drops, but you're crushing it, dude. Everything else sounds nice and clean, super sharp. Your riffs are insane. I get why it takes you 6 hours. What's up, Constantine? I get why it takes you 6 hours to record your second verses, because the riffs are tight. They're well performed. You're double tracking a lot of that.
Samples here in the chat.
Yeah, Chase Samples is a beast.
Super talented.
Let me get him pinned as well.
I can do it. Okay. How far?
Quad tracked. Damn.
So much work.
And just that much harder to maintain clarity and distinction for those elements. Which is why you don't want to rely too much on the guitar to boost your low end. Still make sure you bring up a bass instrument. And then church bell over the top. Get that detune. Tone is beautiful though, man.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, minor tonal differences, different phrasing for the guitar, different mic positions if you're miking or simulating miking, just to mitigate as many phase issues as possible.
I'm worried that the story doesn't end well.
Yeah, Chase Samples is a beast. And there are going to be vocals on this in the future. Crushing, dude.
Let's go.
Crushing. Real quick, small detail as you get a little bit deeper into it. Yeah, snare is slicing through the mix. I think because of your the quad guitar structure that you have there and the drums where they're sitting right now, it might be on your drum bus itself, depending on your compression settings, or if you're doing anything to glue them together. It does feel like some of your high end elements, largely being like the overheads from the VST, like what you're simulating as the overheads, are getting kind of slashed in the mix. They're getting kind of crushed at the top end. So sometimes when you're doing your blast beats and you have your snare running in the middle, pretty much all you can really like perceive in the mix is your blast beats on your kick and the snare slicing, snare punches. It's snappy. It's snappy in the mix. But you do lose a little bit of energy from your overheads. So just be careful that you're not over compressing, especially if there's any multi-band that's going high end, or if you are just suppressing high end a little bit by compressing a little bit. Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say get like your rooms and your overheads just a little bit more open, and then maybe re-trigger compression, change your thresholds if you are doing any, or it might be even just happening in the VST. So there's some room for the high-end elements to breathe just a little bit. That way, that when you start going crazy, because it's almost like the crazier the song gets, the more suppressed some of those elements become. So it almost you lose a little bit of energy because they're targeting that compression and they're suppressing a lot of the high-end stuff. So allow them to breathe just a little bit. Let your overheads and your rooms open up without triggering too much of your compression. And you might even want to, I love how snappy they are, but just based on what I'm hearing, if you are just triggering too much of the compression, you might just want to drop your snare and kick down 2 dB, dB and a half, 2 dB, and like reset up the mix on the drums themselves in the VST, and then let them trigger the compression a little bit more evenly, without everything getting kind of squashed at the top, and so they can breathe. The guitars will pump through beautifully, and then the vocals will just shine right over the top. But Chase, you're a beast, dude.
Absolutely killing
So
it.
talented, man.
And then I also pulled up your Spotify link tree and stuff just in your YouTube just as a refresher. Of course, forgive me if we've already gone over some of this or if I end up repeating myself in a way. I don't remember what the heck we've gone over in the past, so I'll just go over this stuff in case it's helpful, and then if you have any specific questions, of course, hit us with it. So as far as Spotify goes, honestly, overall, what's still kind of lacking is just some kind of identifiable brand. I know you're mostly focused on, building up that catalog, working on the music side of things, but of course, you know how passionately we feel about the visuals being just as important as the sound. And you already got your sound down. It's nailed down, right? So just give a little bit of attention and energy to discovering some of that, what you would want your visual identity to look like. And then I don't remember if we've gone over Pinterest in the past, but if you want somewhere to start, if you're kind of like, I just have no idea about that realm or world, and I just don't even want to put too much effort into it, stuff like that, Pinterest is a really good platform, guys, for doing a bit of self-discovery in that way. Their algorithms are all specifically catered to visuals and discovering aesthetics and stuff like that. What's up, Kaylin? Good to see you.
What's up, Kaylin?
Thanks for hopping in on Twitch. Is Twitch better today, or is it still bad? Because the algorithm has been lacking over there, so I'm not sure. But
they might be going through some technical stuff. You never know.
But yeah, so their algorithms are specifically catered to helping you discover. It's a fully visual platform. There's really nothing that operates as good as it does. So I highly recommend, if you guys are wanting a place to start to discover your branding and okay, good. Thank you so much for letting us know. Then I highly recommend hopping over there, creating a board for your music. So Chase Samples music, and then just pinning anything and everything that feels like it, speaks to you in a way or inspires you in any kind of way. There's nothing that could be off limits, because what's to say what inspires somebody, right? It could be anything. So just go ham posting on there, and once you have about 10 posts in there, the algorithms will get really good at figuring out what you want to see more of, and you'll be able to pull some kind of identity or brand from that mood board, essentially. Once you have that, I would work on getting all of your visuals on all of your platforms in that identifiable aesthetic, if that makes sense. Hi, Ben. Welcome in. Is that 63 Tavo?
Is that 63 Tavo in the building?
Let's go.
What's up, baby?
On Spotify specifically, you do have your Instagram, you have your X link, so I'm really happy with that. But your description is super small. So Spotify gives you 1,500 characters to work with. I always say that's for a reason. It's for SEO and algorithmic purposes, so that they know how to push you. If you don't give them any information to work with, it's really difficult for them to know where to place you, what kind of listeners would enjoy your music, stuff like that. So I always say, get some kind of location in there, which I think you do. You do actually have a location, which is good. Air hug.
So, go to my link tree, click on Track Talk Submission, and then just read through and follow all the steps there. What's up, Shane Lance? Good to see you, man.
And then honestly, just listing out even just a couple of genres that you tap into, Chase. But the more you provide it, the better. So listing out a couple of genres that you like to dabble in, listing out some specific inspirations. Oh, thank you so much for the gifts, Tavo.
Man.
You're the
appreciate
best.
You,
we
bro.
love you so much.
Thank you for the love,
I hope you're
man.
doing okay, dude. listing out some specific inspirations, you know, some people that have a higher monthly listener, you know, some popular names basically that you can tap into then their algorithms as well.
I love it. Nice.
Awesome. Love
What's
to
up,
hear it.
James?
And then what else? I think that's pretty much it as far as Spotify goes.
What's up, Snow?
Let's see. Hi, Snow. Good to see you. How are you guys? And then Linktree, since you have the little icons already, you can go ahead and clear up those links to make room for other things. So what I would recommend doing is putting like stream my music, and then just making sure you have one of those links that has like everywhere they can possibly stream your music. And then another link that's like maybe your latest YouTube video or something, and you can even put the preview option. Like, you want this to really kind of function like a website or a landing page, where it's more attention grabbing, and it's like, you know, the things that are at the top of your link tree are like really, you know, motivating them to follow you and like actually follow through with supporting you on all different fronts, if that makes sense. So that's just a couple of points for your link tree that can help you level it up in that way. And then when it comes to YouTube, it looks really, really good. Just make sure that you get a longer description. Theirs is a little shorter than Spotify, but it's 1,000 characters still, so that still tells you they want to see a lot of information from you. So anything and everything that you can provide them is only going to help you out more. And then just making sure to get those platforms linked on YouTube as well. But of course, like I said, if you ever have any specific questions, you know where to find us, Chase. You're a family.
100%.
You've been here since the beginning. We really appreciate having you in the Vibe Tribe, and we just love you. Any way that we can possibly help you, you know, we got your back.
Let's go. Y'all show some love to Chase. Chase, we love you, man.
Oh, you redid Phantom better? Let's go. Did y'all re-record vocals?
Show some love. Absolutely, man. Anytime. Show some love to Chase. Chase does have a ton of music out on platforms, so go show some love and support. Go stream it. Go add it to your playlist. All that good stuff.
You guys. Definitely make sure to tap in on all platforms for sure.
Amazing. And then, yeah, redid all vocals. Let's go. I love to. What's up,
Helios?
Helios? I'm switching screens whenever we're here. Welcome in, man. If you want to submit, go to my link tree, click on Track Talk Submission, read through, follow all the steps, and you can jump on over to our main platform, the Purple app, where you can see the details, the order, the minimums, track list, all that good stuff over there.
Yeah, the line is wide open.
Let's go.
And a Libby.
Libby. It's a Libby.
It's a Torvik. And a Libby.
We're so stupid.
I know. How are you guys? How is everyone doing?
Cord is getting in the way. No.
We have a boost from the generous Kaylin, who wants to boost some newer folks on the board. So once you get on the board, if you are new here, you will get a bit of a boost in your credit today.
Yeah.
I don't know if Kaylin is on right at this moment, but I know that he donated yesterday to help people out.
Yeah.
And he was just in Twitch, but I don't think he's there anymore. I know he has a busy day today, so.
What's up, Cass? Got in this moment with you, I can't control it. Hey, the way I feel when I'm with you, love can be fragile. But baby, I'm broken without you. It would be tragic for us to never see this through. Well,
I'm still hanging and think I submitted my band incorrectly. Haha. No worries at all, Craig. So if you go to the link tree and you see the link that says Track Talk Submission, you can read through all of the steps there. There's even an FAQ section. So just feel free to read through all those steps. That will help clarify a lot. You guys are sweet. Okay, so Helio said he submitted, and then Retrack, what's up, dude? Good to see you. It always makes me happy when Retrack's here.
Give me a sec to reset.
Because Retrack's like family.
We got the family in the building. Sorry.
So is Snow and Helios. I just love when our OGs are in here.
Okay, as soon as let me get those in a
It
second.
makes it extra comfy cozy. Let go of our reasons why. The wind will take us where we're going. The sun will kiss us till we're golden. Oh. Yikes. Very scary.
It was not charging. It was right on the edge.
I'm all in the middle of singing.
You know?
I like to test myself whenever I'm in the middle of singing that anytime something goes wrong, it's like, keep singing. Hold it. If you got to burp, if you got to cough, keep singing.
Just keep singing.
But yeah, it was like all of a sudden popped up that like our whole laptop that's powering literally everything was about to die. So
the charger was like
the
charger was like this, like not quite in. Just boop.
If it did, that would be horrible. But notice how I tried to maintain my composure and keep singing.
So composed.
I know, Retrack. We actually need to
Got
like do some more stuff together and shit.
I can't wait to have more time and energy. Is that Christopher Walken? Time. All right. New.
That was decent.
Phantom.
I'm excited.
New Phantom of the Opera. It's not that good.
No,
I'll work on it. I'll work on it. It's my first time trying that, guys. First time. Y'all got to see it all.
It's just kind of bringing me back to
Severance.
Yep. If you haven't seen Severance, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Lemon. No, it's getting worse. It's getting way worse.
Just stop.
Let's give that up
for now.
At least a couple months. All right, this is New Phantom. Snow and Helios. No, it's still getting worse.
God.
Fuck. Fuck. All right, this is New Phantom. Snow and Helios.
Mr. Milkshake.
Mr. Milkshake. God. All right, we got version 2 here.
I left my coffee.
I am so excited to see where this is at.
No, I'm actually really excited about this.
Tell me virtually now. Obviously, 8 months of progress, new recorded vocals. You have the new TLM 102. Some things have been updated. Any updates to structure or production, progression, things like that? Because I know there's a couple different things that we're listening for. But let's get into it. I'm excited. Let me get this downloaded. The remaster. Let's get that up. Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm late. I'm like a count late on you.
Hey, Macarena.
I know this is that's my alarm. Is this
people on TikTok
right
just think we have like Tourette's probably or something.
I know they're like why
very
don't you
weird.
ever look at us? Why don't you ever give us attention? All right, New Phantom, Helios, Ever Snow. If you haven't heard the first version, you're not going to get a lot of context on what this is.
He doesn't even know it probably, to be honest.
I do know it. I was just a count
okay,
late because I'm trying to
do it then.
Oh shit! White boy
and then
move.
What? And then what?
And then
no.
Make sweet love. right after that, right? No, you don't. You don't make sweet love after that. Okay.
Wait, what?
Sorry, this took a turn. All right, guys, focus.
Sounds good. Retract.
Focus.
Yeah, he missed 2 moves and it pisses me off.
Focus.
It pissed me off.
Focus. It's because I'm pulling up tracks and I'm downloading.
Good morning. I'm Helios. All random.
God, we're out of control, y'all. All right, this is New Phantom, Helios, Snow. Let's fucking get into it.
I'm excited.
Gosh. Did you record as well, Helios?
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, cool. I love your production on this one, man. Way more consistent, Snow. That's way better, Snow.
Yeah.
Way better, Snow.
Yeah.
Again with me, our strange duet. My power over you grows stronger yet. And though you turn from me,
where are y'all at with the release of this and stuff like that too? Just so I know where you're at. Love the automation on the delays there too. Cool.
Those who have seen your face draw back in fear. I am the mask you wear.
it's me they fear.
Your spirit.
Way better pitch consistency between both of y'all there.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like that, Helios. And this is the hardest one to start with. You're gonna have a way easier time after this one too.
Yeah, he also is like one of the hardest ones in Broadway.
I know, the most vocal range.
Sing, my angel. Sing for me. Sing, my angel. Sing for me.
Let's go. Sorry, that really just ruined the vibes. But y'all, show some love.
We just fucked it up.
I
love that.
Show some love. Helios and Eversnow. So much better pitch control when you're both layering together. Snow, your first verse is probably the best that I've heard your vocal structure. And I know
Yeah.
we've talked a lot. We've chipped away at a lot of things. Cordian, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. But man, that feels in my opinion, by far the most consistent that I've heard you target those notes and just feel bold and confident in what you're hitting.
Definitely.
Makes me so happy. Makes
This
me
is
so
the most
happy.
confident I feel like I've heard both of you, which is really cool.
Definitely. Okay, right off the bat, real quick before we'll dig into it in a second. Second verse. So Helios, note control consistently between like the two parts of your verse.
I
and
love
then,
hearing that.
And then I think Snow's layering right after that verse and the way they fit together. I think that needs to be retargeted a little bit. So I want to address that when we get there. And then we'll float back around to it. But that's to me, that's like the pocket that needs to be addressed. Some of the, I think, initial notes that you're hitting, Helios, might just need to be melodined to a different pocket so that your root note is consistent. Da, 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 da. Like it feels like really consistent every time you go through that progression. So let's run it from the top.
I know the original so well, so I'm trying to get out of what I know from it, and then just, because I know you guys are putting your own spin on it. So then I'm also trying to balance that and make sure that I don't have too much bias towards what I just know. Because my brain naturally, of course, wants to go to what I know.
Because it's a slightly different progression
for years and years and years, right?
So it's not going to match perfectly.
Exactly. So I'm balancing that while I listen to this and just keeping it in mind.
Definitely. But Snow, I have seen you improve so much. Helios, your confidence, so much. I mean, there's so much more intention behind what you're doing. So let's just make sure that it's pointed at the right notes. But y'all are, man, massive improvement.
Amazing.
Massive. Still some things I think we can polish up. Real quick,
the laughs.
I know, me too. Before it gets too deep into it, I do think your vocals can probably both come down a hair as well. They're really prominent over the beat, so they might be able to tuck in another 2 dB or so, just to kind of connect them a bit, while still maintaining as much clarity as you can. That's so much cleaner. That pocket, that 17 seconds right there might be the best that I've ever heard your voice.
Right.
Now. The most targeted,
Honestly.
consistent melodies, the most like confidence and like chest support from your vocal. That like 17 seconds right there, to me, I think is the best that I've ever heard your voice. Feels
Same.
so much more bold, so much more confident, so much better pitch control than I've heard in the past. It's you're chipping away
You're
to
really
Snow.
getting it,
You're
yeah.
improving. You're improving so much. Way better pitch control in that last note.
Sing once again with
So right in there, sing once again. Dun, dun.
But so that's what I want to know is like, are you guys following the original melody or are you wanting to put your own spin on it?
Snow did more on that first one, but you can hear. So I think a little bit of what you hear his is also the tuning, grabbing things, the like the automatic melodyne tuning, and then even auto tune after that, maybe pulling it into something. So on again, you see da 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 da. You do miss a little bit of like the note structure there. So let me hear it again, real quick.
again with me, my strange duet.
Yeah, so you can hear like your vocal is like a step in the key down.
Yeah.
And so it's like the that whole thing needs to be up like a semitone to two semitones, depending on the actual chord progression that's there, right? Because some will be major or minor. But it's down like a note in the scale, two notes in the scale, depending on the chord. And so that's why it's like not, that's why I think some of the notes in the auto tune, some of the notes on melody, they're trying to drag it back up to that semitone. and you'll hear it kind of miss it and then come back down, because I think like your entire vocal needs to be up like a note. Of course, personal preference, I would, because you don't want any weird formant shifting, I would retract that under the right notes. But yeah, so let me play it again, because I can hear the chords based on what Snow did and where Snow's vocal structure is right there. Now, balance-wise, mix-wise, I think you're like locked in. Like I said, I think they can be connected a little bit more sometimes between like Snow's and yours like lead vocal. They can feel that way. The vocals aren't so loud that the drums feel small or the guitar feels quiet, because those should be a wall of sound. Thank you for the follow. It should be a wall of sound. It should be big and vibrant. So if the vocal's too loud, it makes everything else by perspective feel a little bit smaller. So I would maybe address that lightly, but the overall processing of everything else, positioning of everything else, I think sounds fantastic.
What's up, Reno? Thanks for hopping in.
Really, really well done. So I think what I would do, and you might already be doing this, Helios, is I would like save a template for your lead vocal for the song based on what you're recording with and stuff like that. And then I would retrack your vocals and reapply your template just for that vocal. So you can basically have like an intermittent vocal chain that you have saved. That way you kind of lock the vocal back into there when you re-record, and you have to redo your entire chain based on it.
All of the information, if you guys would like more information on what it is that we do here and how it all works, is at the link tree in Torvik's profile. You'll see a link that says Track Talk Submission, and then if you have any questions after reading that, let us know. There is also an FAQ section and stuff like that if you're still confused after reading the initial instructions.
100%. But all levels of quality, all levels of preparedness, from released, unreleased, professional, unprofessional. We had people yesterday that were going to professional studios in LA doing some crazy stuff, and some people that are
really is to provide as much value as possible wherever you're at in your journey. So if this is your first time, welcome in. We also have some credit to give away if you are new here and you get on the board.
100%. All right, let me again. So I would look for that lead melody again to match Snow's. What you might even want to do, this might be messy, so I don't want to make it too messy, right? But what you might even want to do to at least get it closer to the right melody structure for both of you is to copy over Snow's vocals. If you copy it over in the link tree, click on Track Talk Submission, and that link there gives you all the details of everything. Yeah, and follow her note structure at least a little bit more closely. That way you know that you're at least in the same vein, right? You're at least in the same vein of the structure there, and that you're not a semitone to two semitones down on those notes, because it's just going to, no matter what you do tuning-wise to get it in the scale, it's going to, even if it's technically in the right key, it'll sound out of tune. It'll sound like it's not quite matching with the chord structure, because there's always going to be like a second or a seventh compared to Snow's vocals. So that's something I would address, because that to me is obviously going to be a big aspect of it. And then I think that's also why it makes Snow's vocals, when you come back into play, seem more out of tune when she comes back in with the layering, because it doesn't quite match, because she's singing over what would be a lead melody, and then the male harmony underneath it's flat as far as the notes go. So let me play into that really quick.
I was strange to
Yeah, it's like that semi to two semi down.
That part almost.
stronger, yeah.
Yay,
Right.
hi Jenna.
And though you turn from
Right here. But the thing is, that's where I'm like, that's where I just wasn't sure of if you guys are wanting it to be more of a direct cover, then that's when this stuff would really factor in. If you kind of want to put your own spin on it, then that's where I'm like, okay, some of it could technically work.
It could work. If you were to put your own spin on it, I'd put more of your own spin on it, because your phrasing is the same.
It's pretty close.
Your
to
reaches are the same,
the
and
original.
Snow's is closer to the original. So if there's like small distinctions that fall away from it, but then like the
I
structure
think
is
if we
largely
knew
the same.
what y'all's goal was, we would know how to provide even better feedback. So is your goal to be more of a direct cover? Like
of the melody.
when people listen to this, you want them to automatically know this is Phantom of the Opera. You know what I mean?
Right.
to glance behind the
Okay, staying closer to the original.
Right.
Okay, so then let's go back to the second part of Snow's as well. Not exact, but close. Okay.
Yeah. Because the progression's different, the production itself
Right.
is different, but your melodies are matching more closely the original, so
Right.
you want to make sure Helios's does too.
Dreams
All that.
speaks my name.
So that too, then.
So those last three notes are closer. That's closer to the original structure there. So
I dream again. The love of mine.
so then Helios needs. Dun, 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 dun. Those are like the low register notes that Helios needs to hit on this B section here.
So
It's hard to find it with the
yeah, we need to
progression.
rewind it.
What's up, Nozu?
Hi Nozu, good to see you. No.
That's like the harmony.
Yeah. I
No,
need to
no,
hear
no,
it
no.
before he starts singing, that's why.
Hey, you're good.
Yeah, no worries.
Sing once again with me our strange duet. My
Clear MG, and they're phenomenal.
Grow stronger yet, and though you turn to me, the phantom of the opera is there. Obviously, I can't hit those notes, but yeah. So it's I guess could you give him the exact notes?
There's too many notes because it does a
Right,
chromatic walk
right.
on the way down.
But at least the starting and the ending.
Yeah, they're clear MGs, focal clear MGs. They're phenomenal. I liked them. I tried the Neumanns. I liked them better. The Neumanns are fantastic, but they're kind of a different ball game. These are 2 to 3 times the price of the Neumanns. Kind of a different ball game, but they are both fantastic. Depends on kind of what you're looking for, open or close back, etc. Yeah, so I just think you have to really lock in the original melodic structure, which is closer on Snows, and just make sure that that is what is matching up with your current vocal structure there too. So that's going to take a little bit. Obviously, you won't be able to like name every single note. I just know that most of your like a main lead structure is like a note to 2 notes down, like a couple semitones down.
Well, the key, we can at least give the key.
Of course. Yeah, depending on what you're using now, some like HG800 Sennheisers are great. The NDH30s for open back, if you're mixing, NDH30s from Neumann are fantastic. You won't be disappointed, promise. You won't be disappointed. They're amazing. Okay, so it's still the same key from the original with Snow's vocals.
with me our strange duet.
Yeah, these
My power
super brittle, super hard to mix on. I did for years.
stronger yet. Though you turn from me to glance behind.
But in a way, I don't think that sounds bad. That's what I'm saying.
It's just the harmony.
It just
So
really depends on...
your attention is the original melody there over a different production that's been modernized. So you need to match the original melody from Snow's or closer to Snow's, and
I
and
think
update
it could
them on
still
yours.
function as a layer, though, if you
Yeah.
wanted it to.
But I would probably record it muted. Otherwise, I feel like you'll get confused.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right, let me get into this the next section when Snow comes back in.
Those who have seen
And then you kind of fall back, I think, into a different melody here.
Hi,
so.
Daps. We are consulting.
your face, draw back in fear. I am the mask you wear.
Did you do the key change here, the semitone key change here?
Back in fear. I am the
And then I think also because the vocals are so prominent in the mix, 2-3 dB forward, that you can really, really distinguish what's not following the actual chord progression underneath it. And that's, I think, another part of what makes it feel a bit unique. Key change in that section, okay.
mask you wear.
It's me they fear.
So that's out of key.
Yeah.
Snow is on it for most of that.
Yeah. And then when you actually lock in the octave here, you go back under control and things line up again. So to me, the biggest thing, so you can kind of rebalance vocal mix to make sure that everything, because the quality is much better, mix on the production is a lot cleaner. Y'all's performances are so much more confident. There's
Definitely.
the middle section between the start of Helios's verses and y'all's vocals coming together before you hit this next lineup right there, where they are falling out of the key structure and out of the original melody again. And that's where it's getting really difficult to kind of, as a consumer on the listening side, to like find your place over the progression, because the progression is so much quieter than the vocal, and then the vocals aren't lining up with it. So if there's a section that you need to dig into, start of Helios's verse and the introduction of Snow's vocal over that before y'all hit the high octave. That pocket right there needs to be revisited into the key change to make sure that you're back on the original melody or close to Snow's original melody, and make sure all of that lines up. As far as like the mix goes and the balance of the production, I'm really liking where it sits. It feels punchy and snappy in the drums. The brass is nice and vibrant, and the actual processing of the vocals themselves, I think, are locked in. So I think it just needs to be redone and reprocessed in that part of the structure. And then you're not far off on the mix at all. You just have to kind of rebalance it in, and then you're good to go. Like recontrol and melodyne and things like that. But that's the pocket I would pay the most attention to. And then of course you're going crazy with the high notes here at the end too. Snow, your confidence is just so much higher than I've ever heard it. It makes me so happy to hear that from both of you.
Cool guys.
Both of you just improved
Super proud of you
so
guys.
much. Those high notes will also feel better. I feel like more connected to the production. So let's hear this outro real quick. But that pocket right there to me is the thing that needs to be revisited. Just again, I'm a bit of a perfectionist at that, but I know y'all have been with this song too.
Absolutely.
And I want y'all to feel as
really respect
confident
that,
as possible putting it out to the world, right? And so that's kind of where I'm coming from, because it has so much more potential. It's leaps and bounds better than the early versions of this song that we heard too. Got you, Pop Rock.
Sing for me. Sing like angel. Sing for me.
Like your secondary, there's two layers, like so the those were like super high vocals up there. Your secondary vocal that's a little bit more to the left, I'd pull that back so it doesn't, you don't brain wise kind of switch back and forth to like find clarity and like understand where the vocal is. Those real high notes with a little bit more reverb on them, a little bit more centered into the mix, those have, I think, a little bit more clarity to like the melody and stuff like that. Pull the secondary one back in the mix just a little bit so I don't hear that, and I can like hear the response to the sing and all that stuff. And then my brain's kind of pulled another direction. I want to like stay in line a little bit more and pull that one back, so it's just almost like an echo to that lead vocal, if that makes sense. Beyond that, run with it. Let's go, dude.
Wow,
Let's
guys.
go. Let's go. What an insane
really
improvement.
cool.
Insane improvement. Y'all show some love to the absolute family. Rage of Helios, Ever Snow. This is the most confident I've ever heard you. This is an insane song. It's such a crazy song to take on, and y'all are doing it, man. You're doing it. You're working at it. You're chipping away at it.
You guys are awesome.
The bookend of this song, I think, is sounding fantastic for y'all. Just watch that middle section. It's going to be the hardest part to make sure, especially with the key change, with the double octave right there, matching all of your melodies up, things like that. That's going to be one of the harder things to facilitate, right? So double check everything within that middle section. But the actual like balance, actual mix, the production, Helios crushed. Snow, both of y'all vocally, the most confident I've heard y'all, the most range I've heard from Snow at the end, and Helios, you hitting some of your octaves, by far the most confident that I've heard y'all. So y'all definitely show some love. I can't wait for y'all to start releasing some of what y'all are doing, man. Yeah, I appreciate so much y'all's willingness to grow and learn.
Me too.
The effort and time and resource that y'all put into learning your craft and rebounding your music off of people to improve it.
Yeah.
Nothing makes me happier than seeing that. Like
It's really admirable.
It's incredible.
Always,
Incredible.
yeah.
Give it up for the family,
You
y'all.
guys are inspiring for sure. And then Erend, I don't know if I'm saying that right, so I am sorry if I'm butchering that, but we would love to have you. All the information can be found at the Linktree in Torvik's profile. You'll see a link that says Track Talk Submission. Has all of the instructions, just read through it there. We do have some credit to give away to some newer submissions today. So if it is your first time and you get yourself on the board with a minimum of 15, You will get some credit today.
Absolutely. And then Pop Rock, let me know if you sent
We
an
love y'all so much.
email.
Thank you. And thank you so
Thank
much
you
for the tiny
guys.
dinies.
I appreciate you.
So
we love
sweet.
y'all, man. Love y'all so much. Seriously. So good to hear y'all's progress.
That song gets stuck in my head so bad after we listen
It
to it now.
does. It does. And then, yeah, Pop Rock, hop in the chat. Hop in the chat. Hop in the chat. It's not in... Hey, thanks for the
Helia.
sub. I appreciate you,
Thanks for the
Helios. Thank you for the
resubscription. You're the best.
resub, man.
You said Helios.
Helios, thank you. Thank you. I didn't. I have not yet. If you just sent it, maybe it's still coming in. But I haven't seen the link yet. I know every time I hear that song.
Phantom of the Opera. No, literally, it's gonna be stuck in my head like until the middle of the night. I get those so bad, you guys. Like sometimes I'll literally wake up in the morning with a song stuck in my head, and I'll go to sleep with that same song stuck in my head. It's like terrible.
Because
SoundCloud, Brett Harrington, Crossing the Line.
Because I got.
Let's just look up the SoundCloud. Oh, there we go.
Let's see if I can find it from the other link.
I love that so much.
Ba-dum. Crossing the Line. Boom. 1 hour ago. Fresh off the press. Okay, talk to me about the song. Let's go. I love it. All right, this is Brett Harrington. This is called Crossing the Line. Brett's amazing. I love what you do, man. Really talented.
Guys, definitely stick around for Brett Harrington's song.
Yeah, this is gonna be killer. Talk to me about the song, about what you're looking out of it, looking to get out of it, and out of this. Let's get into it. Crossing the Line by Brett Harrington.
It's been going down for a long time. Down. Feels like it's never coming back. Feels like I'm gonna drown. Time just keeps passing by. It's going round, round, round. I believe it's time to fly. And I'll spend my days and my nights hoping to find my peace of mind. I'm crossing the line. I'm starting all over again. Crossing the line. It's never too late to begin. Crossing the line.
Boy Drive, you got plenty of time. Click the link tree in Torvik's profile. Really regular band, welcome in. There's definitely room for you guys. We're still early on. Actually, the line's wide open. Algorithm's been a bit slow today.
For too long. Feels like I'm losing ground. I believe my chance has come. I can see my path is clear.
What kind of processing do you have on your drums or your drum bus right now with those VST drums?
That's been holding me here. And up on a hill is where I'll be, hoping to find serenity. I'm crossing the line. I'm starting all over again. Crossing the line. It's never
Love your layering, man.
crossing the line. It's the start of a brand new day. Crossing the line.
In this one, the vocal needs to be a little more forward, right?
The vocal?
Yeah, no?
In some areas, yeah.
I feel like at least that's what I'm craving. Because your vocal's so powerful. I love it. Sick.
Thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Killer Brett. Les Paul, baby. I know that tone. I miss it. It's such a, I mean, those things are heavy as hell. They're heavy as hell, but they're so good.
I'm starting all over again. Crossing the line. It's never too late to begin. Crossing the line. It's the start of a brand new day. Crossing the line. And nothing will
Dude, Pop Pop Rock. Brett Harrington. So talented. You guys definitely make sure to tap in.
So talented, man.
He
Y'all
has
give it up
yet
one
to
time.
officially launch, but you definitely want to be one of the first official fans.
100%. That is Crossing the Line by Brett Harrington. It is out on SoundCloud right now, building up a catalog before they officially release, I believe, an album that's
We
going to
love
waterfall.
to see it.
Absolutely love to see it, man. So talented, tonally amazing. Your vocal layers are fantastic. This one to me is like small repositioning of the mix, like small amplitude changes. I think that will go a long ways to making this feel just as open and as vibrant as possible. One with the drums, one is processing on the drums. I love it, dude. You're crushing it. I mean, you're so talented. To me, it's like small little polish tweaks to make sure that the energy you want out of the song is the energy that you actually get, right? That's kind of what I'm looking for. Like when I hear these are like stadium vocals. This is like you know, reverberated.
Like I want to go to a
chorused
show
80s guitars. You know what I mean?
with
Like
my dad.
The tone is so good. Yeah, right. It's like it's so good. I want to make sure that every aspect of the music reflects that, right?
My dad would love it.
It's so good, dude. Crossing the
think.
Line, Brett Harrington. Starting from the top. Let's dig into it a little bit. Honestly, none of your mixes are far off.
I know, exactly. I feel like literally the only thing I'm noticing is I just want that vocal to be a bit more prominent in the mix because it's such a good vocal. And there's sometimes when I'm just like craving it a bit louder.
100%. 100%. Absolutely, Jeff. Yeah, if you want to submit, go to my link tree, click on Track Talk Submission, read through and follow all the steps, and we'll be ready to go. Let's get into it. Brett Harrington, Crossing the Line. Great bass movement.
Thanks for the help, Retrack.
Like these are stadium lines, man. They're reverberated, they're open, your double tracks are beautiful, your lead harmonies are stacked gorgeous, the phrasing, phenomenal, like all of that stuff locked in. So good. So the two things to me that I think could use a little bit of beefing up harmony guitars. It's so 80s. I love it so much. It's so good. The two things. One is I think your harmony structures are perfect. So where they're positioned, how loud they are, they sit right over your lead guitars and give you this great width to your vocal structure. Obsessed. Love it. They're fantastic. The lead gets lost in some of that a little bit because those background vocals and lead guitars kind of sit all in the same space and the lead vocal doesn't quite jump over the top of it. So I would love for your lead vocal to probably just be, I mean, I don't usually say louder, but in this case, I think it just could be louder. It could be 2.5 dB over everything else. Get that lead nice and prominent, clean, clear over the top of the mix, supported by your lead harmony guitars and supported by your stacks of vocals. And then the only other thing, and I'll just kind of play through the rest of it or chop through a couple things because these are really the only two things that I notice. I think your vocal, chops are amazing and your musicianship is fantastic. The other thing is the drums. Being that to me, this is a stadium 80s rock song. And for me, one of the biggest contrasts in the 80s that was so powerful was either super dry and dead, like sequence stuff, or stadium reverb crazy, right? Like it was either like dead gated stuff or massive sounding. This to me, at least I'm not the one who created it, right? You can kind of tell me your vision for it. But when I hear this is the massive one. This is the stadium rock song, reverberated, open, powerful, right? The drums to me feel really dry and really dead in contrast. So I would love to get some rooms on this drum. I know they're VST and I know it's all digital. I would love for you to create and you might already have this, you might just need to beef it up a little bit. I would love for you to create a stereo aux, a stereo bus, get some like kind of dark open reverb rooms like the what is the one that I love? Not Huntington, Hitsville. The Hitsville chamber reverbs I love. I use them all the time on like acoustic drums. In this case, you're emulating acoustic drums, so the same thing applies. Get like some this is UAD, but you can use any rooms. You can use stock room reverbs, right? Get a like 2.5 second room reverb on its own bus in stereo, maybe a little more mellow, a little bit darker, so you let your lead guitars and vocals sit over the top, and then send your drums to it. Send your put it on your drum bus, and then send it to that reverb and send it to that room, and just lift it up a little bit until you hear the drums kind of just set in space, right? Because right now they're kind of pointed and dry and dead. And if you just slowly set it into the room, you can automate it a little bit if you feel like it, set it into the room, and all of a sudden the drums will feel just as wide and vibrant and reflective and powerful as all of your layers of guitars and vocals are in there, right? Right now the drums to me just feel dead and soft, and I want them to come alive to a little bit. A good room, a good mix on a room for the drums can make so much of that happen, right? That would be like, those are like the two things. Get that lead vocal on the top of the mix and allow the drums to have just as much vibrancy and power as everything else does in that mix. Crushing it. Besides that, man, it honestly sounds really, 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 really nice.
It's been going down for a long time.
Like when I'm writing songs?
Feels like it's never coming back. Feels like I'm gonna drown. Time just keeps passing by. It's going round, round, round. I believe it's time.
Oh yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, 100%. 100%. You're talking about like taking a scratch track and then building a production around it to be kind of the final thing. Yeah, 100%, all the time. If that is what you're.
Movie Club, just a reminder to read through all of the steps at the link tree in Torvik's profile. You'll see a link that says Track Talk Submission. All the info's there on how this all works and stuff. For those of you that are new and get on the board today, we do have a boost in credit for you.
And I believe I just got one. I think I just saw him pop in, Zachary. I think I just got one from you, so you're going to get a boost as well.
Nice.
Yeah, of course. Carla, 100%. Go to my link tree and click on the Obsidian Key website. And then you can reach out to us through there, fill out one of the forms, and we'll get in contact with you.
It's honestly just the obsidiankey.com.
Yeah. That's me.
Okay,
oh, that's Zach. Okay, I saw a different Zach comment. Okay, I got you. Let me get you up on the board as well.
Yeah, we have a boost in credit for you.
Got you.
Let's see. So we'll do a 10. So you'll have 25 in credit, Zach.
Let's go. That way you have everything set for you in case it.
How much left do we have to give away as well?
At least another 10.
I think we have a bit more because we gave. I need to make notes of this.
Oh, we have 20 more.
Okay, yeah, I think 20 more. Okay, perfect.
Dr. Dreams.
So we have $20 in credit to give away still, guys. If you get on the board today, you will get a boost.
Got you, Dr. Dreams. Let me get you on here. I already had you on the list.
Perfect.
Boom, boom. Perfect. All right, let me get back into the rest of the song. But honestly, I think you're really, really close, Brett. And I mean, all of yours have been. What's up, Senko? All of yours have been. You're a talented musician, and so much of this happens at the source. So much of this happens early on in the recording process. Your tone is amazing.
Zach's taking over the line today.
Your playing is amazing. Crushing it, man. Super good. Let me get into the last part. I'm going to get into the solo. Those two things, vocal structure we talked about, and what you do with the drums, to me, can kind of make or break how big this song feels. And I want it to feel big.
Heck yeah. That's the only thing that I feel like it's kind of lacking is I want more power or more punch.
Yeah, and I know a lot of that is coming from, of course, vocal itself, but comes from the drums. I mean, your bass lines are great. It's a great walk. And they're meaty.
Man,
There's a lot of presence
how cool
to
would it be for you to lay some live drums on one of Brett Harrington's track in the future?
I can't wait to set up the studio again, dude. It'd be
really
so fun.
soon, just a few weeks away. We'll have access to the drums again and all the synths and stuff.
It'll be fun. Let's get into the solo.
and nothing will stand in my way.
Like right there when those drums come back in, I want them to have some oomph. Some of that comes from the actual preset used on the drums, that it's a little bit softer. It's a little bit like, it's less like responsive and transient. So, you know, some of that comes with like the drums that you're choosing, but I definitely want those to have some snap. I want them to have a little bit of beef behind them, which is where you can give a little bit more of that energy through, you know, or kind of arranging your rooms. The other would be through, you know, how you compress them and saturate them and stuff like that. But, you know, the foundation of it is the drums that you're choosing. But yeah, let me get into this outro here. But you're so talented. Your programming is great. Your playing is great. You're a fantastic musician and vocalist and writer.
Definitely.
I think it just comes down to small processing tweaks to get as much out of these songs as possible.
I'm crossing the line. I'm starting all over again. Crossing the line. It's never too late to begin. Crossing the line. It's the start of a brand new day. Crossing the line. And nothing will stand in my way.
Heck yeah.
So good, dude. Show
I'm
some love.
excited, Brett.
Brett Harrington, you're a beast, man. So talented. Yeah, you're well on your way. I can't wait for this project, man.
Brett, I know we just went over a bunch of stuff last night as far as the branding and the marketing and getting yourself set up goes. So let us know if you have any specific questions in the meantime. I know you said you're gonna be sending in your music pretty frequently now, leading up to the launch of your album. So
Yeah.
of course, in that time, if you have any specific questions for the branding, marketing, visual side of things, then you know we got you as well.
100%. Y'all give it up for the family. Pop rock. Brett Harrington. So good, man. So
pop rock.
good. Pop rock. All right, we got, is it A? Is it just A? Let me know. I want to make sure 100%. That makes sense.
Perfect.
That makes sense.
Just make sure to write them down and then bring them to the live and we'll got you. Perfect, Zachary. The other thing I feel like we forgot to respond to. Oh, Jason. Welcome in, Jason. All the info can be found at the Linktree in Torvik's profile. You'll see a link that says Track Talk Submission. You'll also see a link that says See the Line. That way you can check out the line. It's modular and the way that it works. So we do also have some credit to give away for anyone new who hops on the board.
Yep, 100%.
So anything that you, if you do the 15 minimum, we'll boost you at least a 10. So it'll give you a 10 in extra credit.
Absolutely. Yeah, Zach, I got you, Zachary. I know there's like two Zachs coming in, right? Zachary, I got you back up on the board with Dr. Dreams in the 20, I believe is what I had. So you should be up there, ready to go. All right, so.
That's how Zach is at the top right now, though. He sent in 15 and he got boosted to the 25.
Yep, 100%. So the artist name is Sextuplet A. That's the name of the artist. And the album is Press Start.
Sextuplet A.
And the song name is Systems. Okay, give me some, it's a fun project of mishmashing genres. Give me some context on the projects itself. So talk to me about production, talk to me about mixing. What's your role in all of those elements? Are you self-engineering, going to a studio? Is it your vocals? Is it just production? Give me some nuance, give me some context. Let's get into it. This is Systems by Sextuplet A. Let's dive in. Cynthia, let's go. And if you have any analog synths, let me know what you're using. That's my obsession. Cool, love it. Ableton Live and samples and cool. Okay, perfect. And then you're just routing MIDI, quantizing in there.
That sounds really cool.
No, we're pretty open, Zach. Yeah, totally up to you, man.
Really cool.
Let's go.
I like that.
Let's go. Y'all show some love.
Okay, so one thing I feel like I need just a little bit of clarity on is what your goal is as far as your releases and like your music career overall. And then I'm just I guess a little confused by the like a thing. Just let us know. Provide us a little bit more details. That way we know how to help on the visual branding, marketing side of things as well.
All right, let's get into it. This is System. Let's run it straight back. So this is Sextuplet A, and the song is called Systems. If you like what you hear, this is out on all platforms. You can find it. You can stream it, add it to your playlist, all that good
Just
stuff.
type in A.
6 A's. Type in 6 A's. You'll be right where you need to be. All right, this is Systems. Let's get straight into it.
Really, really cool track though.
Yeah, I like the vibe a
love
lot.
it.
I like the vibe a lot.
It's kind of giving one of those. There's that prominent sound in there. It's giving one of those like 90s like toys that you like pull.
Oh, it was...
I love that.
Yeah. It's like all like metallic and ringy.
Super cool. Which is kind of making me want to sample that, honestly.
I know, right?
Our nephew has one of those. No, not a slinky. I'll have to find a picture of it.
It's those plastic expandable tubes. So
Yeah.
that's what it sounds like there. I play live shows with backing tracks and drum machines and electronic pads and synthesizers. I love that.
Very
I love
cool,
that.
Very cool.
Super cool. Hell yeah. Microfreak's great.
So what is the artist thing that is like a like cuz you said the band is called something else, right? I can't remember.
Well, that is Sextuplet A.
Oh, got
It's
you.
6 A's.
Gotcha.
I think that's just it.
Okay. So you just spell it like that.
Right.
Okay.
Love this brassy synth right here. I have a bunch of random synths, but the Juno 106. I love getting these like really like sharp brassy stuff too.
Sorry, I'm just slow. I didn't get that.
You're totally good. Yeah, don't apologize at all. But I think
Right.
what you're experiencing is the consumer limitation to finding you, understanding it, and all of those things are like the natural consumer response to seeing who you are versus seeing it versus hearing it and wanting them to listen to a full project before they find it as a single. And I think that's there's nothing wrong with
So
it
we
because
can
you
talk
can do
through
whatever.
some of that
We can
for
talk
sure.
through some of that,
Yeah.
but I think that is maybe part of the barrier to you gaining more exposure for the music that you actually release.
Right, because your stuff is really great.
Yeah, you're a great producer. I like tonally. I like what you're doing a lot. Like I like your sequence movements. Like they're well, nice pauses in there. They're nice and kind of, you get these nice little sharp plated reverbs and stuff like that are really nice. I think on the production, and you're doing a lot of interesting stuff.
Isn't working.
I was curious if it was like muted clean, like almost like with the Strat or something, like muted clean picking or something like that, just to, and then like expand it a little bit. I like it. That was my first one. It's like it kind of sounds like muted picking without any like tonal quality, without a note or something like that. I think it sounds cool. I like it a lot. It's a cool little. Okay, one thing that I heard in this, so like your main structure of your synths is E minor. That's kind of the main thing that you brought in here, man. It's really cool. Over this like E minor right here. The only thing that I hear is when you bring in this, is that a loop on the guitar there, or is that something that you played? Let me know real quick. Let's go. I love it. You have a lot of great intuition with your production of just like where to move things dynamically. I think it's really cool.
How old are you? Because that could be a year or it could be 15
45.
years.
Let's go.
Nice.
I love it. It's really cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's really good. Good stuff.
So okay, so some of the mud that I'm hearing, player and then looped. Okay, so some of the mud that I'm hearing, this is strictly a stylistic decision. There's no right or wrong way to do this, right? It does add some tension. I think that is good at some moments and a little bit dissonant and has a lot of maybe more negative tension at different points depending on where your bass line hits. So most of the songs over the E minor, right? That's kind of like the basis of those big metallic synths that you have in there, and then you have this. But when you do the walk down from the G, F to the E, that walk down is an accidental because over the E minor, it would typically be F sharp instead of an F, right? So that one note, when you only have the bass line, it works, right? When you bring it in and it's like over the E minor, right? But then you hear that tension over the two. So you have these two notes playing at the same time. It's a small detail. It's a bit dissonant. It has a lot of tension to it, where all of the other elements, that's like a little, fits like a little bit easier into that actual scaling that you have there. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it a lot. I like making the explicit line between spooky and pretty. I like that.
Love that.
I like
yeah.
it. So my recommendation is to introduce the accidental. In this case, that's the F instead of the F sharp, which I like the tension that it brings in. It gives you some nastiness, and some of the nastiness I think is really good. Just be careful that your bass lines and your bass sequences still like match that they still allow for that. If they maintain like the same cut,
retrack, definitely.
the same cut that they had before, sometimes the tension sounds good. It makes you, ooh, it gives you a little stank face. And then sometimes it just sounds out of tune because it's just an accidental within that scale because of the guitar loop, which seems really major. All right, it's like really happy and major. And it comes through sometimes. I like that. That's why retrack is right down your alley, because retrack is getting into scoring currently and doing a lot of amazing music. Yeah, really cool. Because then you're back to the F sharp there. So you have to watch that tension right there. That's like my only recommendation is like as you're building some of those tension elements, as you're adding accidentals, as you're going from like the F sharp in the G major, the F sharp there, and moving with those high bends, which sound really spooky and all that stuff. It sounds
like
really,
that.
really cool.
Cinematic
I love
dance.
that too. Just make sure like the bass line or some other element in there from your bass line to maybe some of your other sequences like support that movement so it doesn't feel too out of place or just feel like it's a random thing that's out of tune. I love this tension right here. Like I could see this in a film.
Absolutely. This definitely deserves more streams. So I want to talk through some options for, the direction that you can move in to get some more traction on the music that you're making. Let us know where you're at. Like, how old is this this album that you put out?
So this is
2025. So this is you
fresh.
just put out. Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, so you're still actively making music,
of course.
and you still plan to continue to release music in the future.
And the way real quick, last thing on the music side, the way just released this Monday. Let's go. I love it.
Okay.
I love it. So the way that I would approach things like you're talking about, so like synthesis is my favorite thing in the world. That's like the thing that I obsess over, right? But my background is in classical piano. So even like when I'm like digging into progressions and stuff like that, when it comes to those nasty notes, which I like just randomly switching to something that feels jazzy and augmented or diminished or just has a note that doesn't work. What makes it work, like switching from like C major and F major, what makes it work is multiple things following the context, right? So if I randomly am in the key of C and it's like all really clean, all white notes down here and it's all major, and I randomly want to go to like a G sharp diminished, I need multiple things to follow that and then resolve for it to like feel a sense of tension, but then a bit of release. So if I'm here and it's all major and then I randomly went, that's nasty, but I have multiple elements following it and then I can resolve it. And somehow it works, even though it's like, now it says jazzy. Now it has tension, but there's like a resolve to it. So that's what I would like, I guess, look for is this is more difficult with synthesis and sequencing, right? When you're playing something and looping it and sequencing it through your synths or through MIDI or however you're structuring what you do. You do a lot live, so I'm sure you're sequencing and looping a lot. Dude, it's like it's my favorite stuff. You're talking my language with what you're doing it. So I love it so much. So what I would recommend is like if you're gonna move to like randomly have an E minor bass, thank you for the follow, appreciate it. An E minor bass, and you're gonna have this, right?
Baked potato beats.
Boom. There it is, right? So all of a sudden you went from this G major, right, over the E minor. All I have to do to give context to that, the F that you went to, which is out of key, is go out of key with the bass too. Now all of a sudden you have that guitar.
What's up? I'm just a baked potato. I like that.
You hear the difference in context there? All of a sudden the guitar makes sense with the bass line. Still tense, still spooky, still weird, but all of a sudden it all melts together. It doesn't feel out of place anymore. That's what I'm talking about. That's kind of the stuff that I would look for. Dude, you're a beast. I really like your style. I like your aesthetic. It's cool.
Really, really cool. I do think that you two could be good friends. Okay, so
same. I started with drums too. That was my first instrument.
But piano isn't new to you.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of course, dude.
Thank you so much for joining us
today. I love
today.
what you're doing, man.
If you want to tap in more with the community side of things, guys, we would definitely encourage you to join the Discord. That's where most of the community is. We say it all the time, but we really truly are just the facilitators of this amazing community, the Vibe Tribe. You guys really are the heart of it.
Hell yeah.
Whoa, I didn't know baked potatoes could make beats.
Beat potato.
But yeah, let's talk through some things that you could technically do if you want to grow your following, if you want to grow your monthly listeners, all that type of stuff. Which I'm going to go ahead and let you know that we do offer longer form consultations. This is basically what we do on these live streams. It's just a mini version to give people a taste of what we have to offer when it comes to music services and branding, visual, all that, marketing, that kind of stuff. So we do offer longer form consultations outside of this live where it's, hourly, and we hop on a Zoom call and you have our undivided attention. We can be face to face, all that type of stuff. So if you're ever interested in that, we would be happy and honored to work with you for sure, Zach. But for the sake of today, could play platforms as well because they are really short. Can you send another? Yeah, you can definitely send another. The line is still pretty open today. We have about 6 tracks left, and
let me get that updated.
So you could definitely send in
completely up to you.
another one if you'd like.
Yeah. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate you.
Can you guys reply to my email with some info?
The best, because this is a submission email only to keep things
Right.
organized on the business side, because we have 12 different things that we do within our Obsidian Key business for media.
Mhm.
So I would recommend going through the website and filling out the contact form there.
So-
that way it's organized and we can respond.
Yeah,
all
we
from the
have
same
all
place.
different kinds of systems
Yeah.
here, but the best way to reach us would be through the obsidiankey.com. That's the website. And you can check out some of our services there, and then you can also, there's a contact form there, so you can feel free to reach out to us there. We could always set something more professional up to really dive in deep and help you out. But I guess for the sake of today, I don't know exactly what would be the most helpful, so I'll just give some like really basic pointers on what we tend to recommend. So you already have a catalog built up. That's awesome. You already released, which is perfectly fine, but it still is highly recommended that you get all of your stuff in order, ideally, right? So thanks for all the love, Jenna. You're the best. But yeah, so we would just want to get your Spotify set up properly, make sure that you have a banner with your identifiable brand. You have a description. First off, that your Spotify is even claimed, so it
Yeah,
doesn't look
I was
like
gonna
it's
say.
claimed in your distribution. So
Yeah.
that's really important.
You don't
so
have an official Spotify for artists profile
basically,
yet.
there's an abundance of information we can provide you right now, and I don't want to be one giant run-on sentence or overwhelm you right now. So I think I'll leave the ball in your court and let you decide what you feel like would be the most beneficial on that side of things. And if you do feel like, you know what, honestly, a longer form consultation would just be the best route, then we would be honored and happy to do so. We could also offer like a little discount for your first one or something if that would help.
So you're waiting through your distribution, right? You're still waiting for like claiming your Spotify title, YouTube for your original account and stuff like that. Yeah. So as soon as you get that under control, you'll be ready to go. Is it Anna Janelle? These aren't music reviews. So I understand you probably, like you said, you swiped through a couple different music review channels. So these aren't music reviews. It's not a $5 like free line and a $5 skip or anything like that. Thank you so much for hopping in. First of all, appreciate you being here.
Yeah.
These are long form consultations. We do some like long form consultations offline. But I'm a full-time audio engineer, music producer. No worries at all. Don't apologize. I'm a full-time audio engineer and music producer. That's what I do for a living. I also do session work as a musician. I've done that for well over a decade. And Libby works in branding style. We consult in a lot of. She's been an editorial and personal stylist for well over a decade as well. So what we do here are long-form consultations for independent and underground artists digging into mix and master aspects. In this case, we're talking through music theory and chord structure for the synthesis that is in this artist's song, which is really is super fun. So we'll dig into song structure,
We
music
personally
structure.
use DistroKid for our personal music.
Yeah, that's what I use is DistroKid. So it's for your music and branding and whatever would offer you the most value. So when it comes to like some people are phenomenal at mixing, but they need to focus on song structure and maybe lyric structure and things like that. And so if you're wanting to dig into things like that, then maybe that would be beneficial. But it really just depends on
This
kind
is
of
a
what you're
scam
looking
because
for.
independent artists don't hire consultants. That's a really weird thing to say, but also maybe they should if they need it, right? It's like,
Independent
who's to
artists
say?
don't hire consultants.
Bye. Good riddance.
Yeah, exactly. Send it.
Oh, that's so sweet, Retrack.
Retrack, man, I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you so much for love, y'all. We got some to get up on the board as well. Gabe, thank you so much. Go to my link tree, click on Track Talk Submission. You can see and read through all of the details there. Yeah, goodbye. Mr.
Yeah,
Conti.
goodbye.
Yeah, goodbye. There's no worries. There's no worries at all. Not everything has to be for everybody.
I wonder why people jump to scam. Like,
I know.
Since when is providing any kind of service a scam? That's interesting.
Nannies are a scam. Trainers are a scam. All right. And then let me see.
The reason he went to nannies and trainers is we both used to do
Yeah,
that. He was a
as
personal trainer
services.
and I used to do childcare. It's so funny.
Dr. Dreams, welcome over to
Hey,
Twitch.
yeah.
Appreciate you hopping in. Okay, anything else you wanted to say for sextuplet A.
I think that I'm going to leave the ball in your court. You can
Yeah.
definitely let us know what would be the most beneficial to provide as far as the information on that side of things goes. And then, of course, I know you said you were interested in maybe sending another one for today. So just keep us updated.
Yeah.
Let us know how we could best help you. And, of course, we would be honored to.
But the first and foremost, your things need to be claimed so you even have the capacity to brand the way that you want to.
So that makes sense. That
you have some early steps to do to make sure that you're locked in. Yeah, absolutely. Any genre, any level of preparedness, you're totally good.
Yeah,
but y'all show some love.
Really killer metal one this morning, and it was awesome. I guess it wasn't really this morning. I don't even know what time it is.
Let me make sure. This is the
so
right.
So that's the other Zach, right?
So this,
I think,
yeah. This is okay. Let me.
And Dr. Dreams isn't a Zach, right? That's
Dr. Dreams is Zach.
Oh, this Zach?
Yes.
Wait, no.
So there's 7. Yeah. So Dr. Dreams is Zachary, who I think just sent this one. So
perfect. The 25.
Yeah. So
is yours. Okay.
So
and then Protocol Movie Club is also Zach, but
so here's what I'm gonna do.
But okay, so what's really confusing here, guys, is the other Zach is the Protocol Movie Club while also being A, while also being Zach. Okay.
Okay, I want to make sure that I have the right people in the right order. That's
okay, we can call you Protocol. I love that. I also want to check out some of your film work. That sounds so cool.
I know. I love that.
So Dr. Dreams 25, Dr. Dreams 20, perfect. And then if you want to send another one, Protocol, then just let us know.
Yeah.
I think we'll have it organized here. But guys, please let us know if we get anything wrong or mixed up, of course.
Yeah, if I've got an order mixed up or anything like that. As far as what I see, I have everything.
I do music videos, but my movies come out in July. Amazing. That's so cool that you do music videos as well. And you would be a really good contact for people. If you don't already have a Discord, I would really highly recommend making one. That way you can join different communities like this so you can collaborate and, just get some traction on some of what you do. But we do have a community that we are actively building pretty quickly, which can be found at the Linktree and Torvik's profile as well. So if you're interested in that, if you would like to join the Discord, there's promotion channels in there and stuff like that. So anytime you release something new, you can always drop it in there and get a little bit more hype around it.
Okay, give me a sec. Dr. Dreams, I'm pulling yours up here. So
I'm gonna use the restroom. So is this a good time?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
It's fine. I'll wait to play the first run through.
Or I can wait if you want.
Do you want to do the first run through?
Yeah,
and then
let's just do the first run through.
Let's do this first run through. I'll pay for Protocol next. Let's go. You want that to go straight to them?
Oh, that's so sweet.
Retrack, because you have that sent in. Let's do it, dude. I'm super down. Okay, Protocol.
And then honestly, we'll probably just do a giveaway for the remaining.
Right.
I think we have 20 to give away.
20 left to give away.
Okay, so we'll probably just do a giveaway at the end of the live.
So I've got so we're gonna run this one, and there'll be 5.
That's so sweet, Retrack.
So kind, man. I appreciate you so much.
This is a
bro.
really, really generous community, guys.
Seriously. So Protocol, you're next.
Never hold it. I'll hold it for just a little longer. Don't worry, I'm not busting at the seams this time.
Okay, so A, you have your next one covered. You don't even have to worry about it. I already have Dr. Dreams pulled up for what is technically their 25 spot, but we're going to push your next one, sextuplet A, all the way up to the 30, thanks to Retrack sending in that extra credit.
That's so nice.
Just to bless the community. So incredibly generous.
Okay, so maybe, so it's less confusing, we should also put in parentheses sextuplet A. Right?
Yeah, that's more to type out.
Okay.
That's a lot.
I'm getting confused.
That's
okay,
so much more to type out.
It should be fine. It should be fine.
That's fine. We'll figure it out. Okay, let me play Dr. Dreams. You can use the restroom. We'll break that now. We'll break that down and then we'll get back into it. So Dr. Dreams, this is New Moon. Is that the correct one? BPXO, welcome in. Welcome in. How are you feeling?
Dr. Dreams, you're awesome. Thank you so much for being here.
Perfect. Sextuplet A. All right, this is New Moon by Dr. Dreams. Dr. Dreams, I've heard some of your music before, but just update us, update the chat, people that have never heard you before, on your role in what we're hearing here. That way people can get in touch with what you're doing and enjoy what you're doing creatively. I'm excited.
We could grow what you want from me. We could fall when it's hard to breathe. We could glow if you ride with me. We could flow with you on company. We could grow what you want from me. We could fall when it's hard to breathe. We could glow if you ride with me. We could flow with you on company. Used to wait on calls that never came. Going through the silence was my claim to fame. I was looking for love in all the wrong directions. I was hanging out with people who couldn't stand their reflection. Talk less, feel more.
Exclamation point, submit.
Learn how to walk out whenever the vibes ain't right. I'm not
okay,
mad,
so it's like a YouTube beat, 2-track, beat stars.
This ain't a phase, it's just me closing the door.
And then you did your vocals.
We could grow what you want from me. We could fall when it's hard to breathe. We could glow if you ride with me. We could flow but you on company. You say that you want my company, but what you really want from me? I'm no longer running, I'm finally free. I'm who I'm supposed to be. No more stretching, just trying to make it fit. No more shrinking just to coexist. Running from my past in the daylight. Pages turning fast, tell me what you fake like.
Thank you for the heartbeat,
I'm just along for the ride, don't try to fix me. I'm whole now when I used to be empty. We could go, nobody knows.
Switch up.
Oh, that panning's trippy.
That version of me was conflicted. Now I see clearly.
Thank you for the gift. I appreciate you. Okay, cool.
We could go, nobody knows, I talk to God, and you said I'm
Yeah, I can see that.
my own. We could grow what you want from me.
Yeah.
We could fall when it's hard to breathe. We could glow if you ride with me. We could flow with you on company. We could grow what you want from me. We could fall when it's hard to breathe. We could glow if you ride with me. We could flow with you on company. We could go, say you want my company. We could fall, it's not enough for me. We could glow, honestly, and we could flow. We could go, you want my company. We could fall, it's not enough for me. We could glow, honestly, we could flow.
Very nice, Dr. Dreams.
Kind of completely wet up the signal with the reverb at the end there. Let's go, y'all. Show some love.
Wet up the what? I'm
Wet up
just
the
kidding.
signal. Wet up the signal.
Ignore the click. Okay.
Oh, it always restarts that way. All right, y'all. Show some love to Dr. Dreams. Let's go straight back into it. Let's get into the details. If you need to
Really
use
quick,
the restroom.
Dr. Dreams, let us know where you're at as far as your distribution goes. Is this going to be the first project that you actually distribute, or do you already have, your Spotify established, stuff like that? Just let us know where you're at in your journey, and then that'll help me to know how to best help you today.
For sure.
And then, of course, if you have any specific questions, get those ready as well. I'll be right back, guys.
All right, let's get into it, man. Biggest thing that I want to tackle is like just before, of course, like something like this comes out, is this is a really, this has like a lot of like great synthesis. First album under my name, changing from the Dr. Dreams moniker. Okay, what are you going to? What's your new artist name gonna be? But let's get into it. There's a lot of cool like jazzy movements. What you want from me? There's a lot of cool like jazzy walk downs and cool movements and stuff in this that I think are really cool. Kind of similar to what we were talking about on the with the last record with Protocol, was making sure that like your vocal structure matches. I love that. That's a cool, unique name. I think that's cool. I think that's a good call too. It just makes it more like just in line with you, and it allows you to have a little bit more freedom, I think, with what you do creatively, which is cool. I like that more than Dr. Dreams. And I think that you have a unique enough name that could work really well. So what I would encourage you to do is make sure that your vocal harmony structures match that. And then I also feel like, they're on Twitch, Retrack. It's going to be their name, Zachary Fix. Zachary Fix is going to be the name. Fickes. And then also some of your vocal structure in this, to me, is a bit prominent compared to some of the beat and where the chords sit. So there's sometimes where I feel like it gets really loud when your vocal gets really loud and it sits really prominently over the front of the mix. And it could be nice for that to feel a little bit more tied to the production, a little bit more seamless. The thing you have to be careful of when you're working off of 2 tracks, BeatStars, MP3, or something off YouTube or whatever it may be, is it's really easy to make it seem like and sound like it's a beat and it's a vocal, right? Like I hear a production down here and I hear a vocal up here, but they don't feel connected. They don't feel in tune with each other. It feels like this was just written over something that's not very well connected. And so the difficulty is making sure that your melodies, your rhythms, your cadences, your vocal phrasing, your syllable counts, and of course the mix of those two things feels connected, like it's recorded in the same room and it edited together and stuff like that. That is one of the challenges of not working off a multi-track and not working in a studio with an engineer and doing it yourself, right? Can you do it? 1,000,000%. I've seen people do it over and over and over again. It takes a little bit of creativity to make sure it all fits. So let's run it from the top. Let's dig into a couple little things, but that is going to be your hurdle. I think that is going to be your quality hurdle, where you hear something that sounds like a YouTube beat in a vocal, or like you hear people talk about like what sounds like BeatStars, what sounds like SoundCloud, and like things like that. Even though those are very loose statements, it's generally this idea of not well connected vocals. They're like too bright and too loud, or the bass is too boomy and someone doesn't know how to connect the two. That's when people hear something they attribute it to a lower quality mix. So if you can find ways to connect them, which we'll talk about, I think you'll be in a good spot. And I'm excited to hear your second song too, because that'll help give me a broader picture of what you're doing creatively. I mix off 2 tracks all the time for clients, so it's not impossible. Not impossible at all. Hey, thank you so much, dude. Love you too, bro. Appreciate you hopping in. All right, let's go.
We can grow what you want from me.
Like even here, these are like really
Went to the restroom, came back with snacks.
Hell yeah, I got to. Yeah, I got you, man. I know you're on a crunch for summer. Obviously, summer's broad. Could be months out, but you just let me know. If you ever want to, just reach out through the website, and we got you, man. I appreciate you hopping into and sending this in. David, thank you also for the follow. I appreciate that. So right off the bat, the difficult thing sometimes also with a 2-track is you don't have control over how you balance these elements. Like in my opinion, there's a couple elements, some great synthesis, which I love. I love me some synths. There's like a Hammond B3, like kind of like Leslie rotary organ happening over the top. Love that as well. But those to me are pretty loud, like pretty. There's a lot of like unbeneficial resonance, and they're also really loud in the mix compared to like the bass and drums. And so your vocal, in order to compete, has to sit way over the top of those things, right? So your vocal is just very loud compared to some of these other elements. So I would encourage you, in this instance, there's a couple things that you can do, but it's gonna be kind of difficult to balance. A lot of the fundamental frequency of the vocal and your phrasing is between like 1,000 and 3,000 hertz. It happens all the time. So this is a great tip for you too, David. If you're working with the 2-track that's not mixed well, this is the thing, is like if you're doing an MP3 from YouTube, if you're doing a BeatStars lease or something like that, you are at the whim of the mix of the producer. Not all producers are good mixing engineers, right? Mm-hmm. So you could have someone who made a cool beat, but they mixed it super shitty, and then you bought it for $40, right? Or leased it or something like that, or you bought it for a couple $100. And if you're only working off the 2-track, that mix is largely only going to be as good as that producer's mix, and it might not be that good. In this case, in my personal opinion, this is not a great mix on the production 2-track that you have. And so you have like the organs the B3's too loud. You have some of the synthesis is too loud. Those chords are too loud. The drums are really soft. You have a decent bass line in there, but it's hard to balance. So one of the biggest things that I want you to do is carve some of the space away from those elements. A lot of where that organ is sitting is between like 1,000 and 4,000 hertz, 1,000 and 3,000 hertz. That's also, this is a benefit to you, is where a lot of your fundamental frequency of your vocal lies, between like 1,000 and 3,000 hertz. So what I would do, I don't know, you're on FL, I know that much, but I don't know what all plugins you have. If you have a dynamic EQ, this is helpful. If not, it's perfectly fine. But I would just do a very soft bell curve EQ between 1,000 and 3,000 hertz, and just drop it down by 3 dB, maybe even max, right? 2 or 3 dB. Carve some of the space in the beat where a lot of that resonance is coming from, where a lot of the organ sits, soften some of that energy there. Since this is a benefit, that's also where a lot of your vocal phrasing sits. Your vocal's going to sit in the mix way cleaner just by carving space on the beat between 1,000 and 3,000 hertz. Now, once you do that, your vocal's already way on top. You can bring your vocal back down by like 3 or 4 dB, and it's going to feel so much more connected to all of your other vocal structure. Because right now, in order to compete with the organ, like that B3, in order to compete with your synths, you got to crank it to be way on top. And we don't want that to be the case. Otherwise, the drums feel like they're non-existent in your vocals, super loud, and all of your layering. So one quick fix to a lot of what you're talking about is just carving that little bit of space between 1,000 and 3,000 hertz, dropping it down lightly, and then bringing your vocal back under control.
You have electrolytes. You have electrolytes.
Yeah, it's the spice one. I don't know. Really help you outreach more on Spotify. I mean, there's a Symphonic is another good one. But I prefer to do most of that stuff outside of that. Most of them, you just got to find people that you can work with to give you a little bit more of a push. But DistroKid is the one that I've used forever. They help you get into they do have editorial, pitching to editorial. They do have playlist lists that you can get into and like stuff like that. So, I mean, I've used DistroKid for like 11 years, 12 years, and I've been perfectly fine with them. I feel like they do a good job of supporting your pre-save campaigns, your pitching to editorial and stuff like that. Like they do a good job. They're just super established. Let's go, Protocol. I love it. All right, let's get into it a little bit. It's always going to start me over, so let me get a little deeper into it.
Nah, talk less, feel more, but I sleep light. Learn how to walk out whenever the vibes ain't right. I'm not mad, not minimizing myself no more. This ain't a phase, it's just me closing the door. We can grow what you want from me. We can fall when it's hard to breathe.
The only problem with using splitters like that is for each individual split that doesn't has a blurred edge of frequency, right? So when it's isolating drums, there's blurring between what's bass, what's drums, what's percussive vocals, what's synthesis. So every single individual stem that's been tracked out from a splitter, like an AI program like Moises, what's built into AI, built into FL and Logic and stuff, you can tell. So each individual stem, although is initially recorded well, and you can balance it, what you are balancing has artifact. And so you lose some clarity, you get some mud, you get some weird fuzziness.
And people will just straight up think that it's not your song nowadays, right? Because there is Sonos or whatever, the like AI actually writing music.
Automated plugins like track spacers can be good. I know some great engineers that use track spacer as necessary, but my priority is just don't ever get a beat if it's not mixed well. I think that's the, you're like, man, I really like this. Either find a producer to recreate something in that vein that's going to be balanced and you can get track outs for or multi-track for, or you find a different beat that's in the same style and move on. You'll always have more creative ideas. Like, you don't have to get stuck on a song or a melody that you have. Like, if something doesn't work, it doesn't work. And if it's going to cost you too much in quality or in price to get what you want out of something that's not mixed well, I'm of the mindset that I would move on. Got to get it good at the start. That's it. So like if you're in a place,
that's the key.
Yeah, 100%. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no,
it's like
that's awesome.
If you're in a place where you are like, I'm either going to put out something that's bad quality, more difficult to deal with, not going to be engineered well, then in my opinion, like, move on, find the next great option, right? But if you are early on in your journey and you are practicing and you want to get good at mixing, then chip away at it, 100%. All right, let me get a little bit deeper into this.
I'm not mad, not minimizing myself no more. This ain't a phase, it's just me.
Okay, so here's one of my last. So I think the vocal structure, thank you for the heart, me man. Appreciate you. Libby got it that time. As far as your vocal structure goes, you have some good lyrics in here. You have some good movement and some good cadences and stuff like that. I do feel like there's a lot of inconsistency within your timing and within kind of the structure of your vocal. Sometimes it's like right on the grid and very melodic, and then sometimes it's like very out of time and more poetic. In my opinion, for this to be as palatable as possible for as many people as possible, I would really like bias one way or another, maybe from the hook to the verse. Like, maybe your verses are a little bit, they're less melodic, they're not auto-tuned, and they're more spoken word. It's more like you're talking to us, you're telling a story, and then you go to the hook and you want it to be regimented, you want it to be polished, you want it to be clean and poppy and layered and really consistent melodies. The halfway point between the two just ends up sounding like out of time vocals with mismatched syllable counts, and it's hard on the consumer end. Like, here's the thing that I tell like every artist that's in this position: how do I learn your song? That's like the easiest, like most simple question. If there's a ton of like, how do I remember first couple times listening to your song, your rhythm, the melody that you hit? So if your melody is changing every time, or when you hit that note changes every time that you do it, and your rhythms are inconsistent, it's going to be very, very challenging for me as a consumer. This is completely separate from talking about audio engineering and production. But as a consumer, I'm just going to forget the song because nothing's like stuck. There wasn't anything like consistent enough or like polished enough and repetitive enough where I'm able to build a structure that I can even remember. There's just there's not enough pattern recognition, right?
Well, I'm glad you found it now.
Hey, it's the perfect time. Let's say it's the perfect time, right? I'm glad you're here. So that's something I'd pay attention to. So that's one of the things that I notice on this. It's not like Dr. Dreams. It's not like it sounds bad, right? It's not like this like sounds horrible or anything like that. You can balance the mix. You can tuck in the vocal and stuff like that. But my worry is on the consumer side that it will, even if you have cool lyrics and you're good at storytelling and you have a good voice and like all these things, and even if it was mixed beautifully, I worry that it could become forgettable because there's not that pattern repetition. There's not that format and stuff like that allows people to latch onto it, remember it, and really, really feel like it's a song they can connect to, even with other great things, a cool beat, a cool voice, cool lyrics, stuff like that. What I would focus a lot on, especially digging into before you're releasing, you're self-engineering all this, so you have an opportunity to do this, is making sure that like take your lyric structure and find some pattern, find some consistency in your melodies, find some consistency in the way that you perform your phrasing and your syllable counts, so that you have as many opportunities in this song to grab people's attention, remember it, and be able to latch onto it first, second listen. Thank you so much for the bros. I appreciate you. Little things like that, right?
I love that so much, Dreams.
I love it. Seriously, you're in the perfect spot then.
Absolutely.
Because it's easy to just be like, oh, like this isn't good yet, so you gotta stop or just fix it, right? Like that's a lot of it is just fix your mix, just get better at mixing, right?
There's the Discord and the Twitch chat if you want to join it. We would love to have you.
That's easy to say, harder to execute, which is why I want to give you those specifics. Here's what I'm hearing. Here's what's gonna make it. Thank you for the tiny dining. This is what's gonna make it difficult for people to remember your music, even if you're doing cool things, right? All right, let's get into this outro here because you switch up the vibe a little bit, which I like. I like a little interesting stuff. Yeah. I like the switch up. I like it. But I would really focus on vocal phrasing. We talked about the vocal mix and vocal production. Let's get into this last section here real quick.
We could glow if you ride with me.
I do like your doubles. Those doubles are nice.
We could grow what you want from me. We could fall when it's hard to breathe. We could glow if you ride with me. We could flow but you want company. We could go, say you want company. We could fall. It's not enough for me. We could glow, honestly, and we could flow. We could go. You want my company. We could fall.
See, that's so much more of the repetition that you'll need early on. You gotta make sure people get you to that point, right? Because if the first part of the song is too free flowing, or it's not established as poetry, as spoken word, or as a freestyle, you know, people's expectations are a certain type of song structure to an extent. I definitely feel like it'd be to your benefit to structure that first part because you have more repetition here that's easier to latch on. You can go, you can go, you can go. Like you have more of that repetition. I'm like, oh,
what's
yeah.
Up, Moog?
Now we're in a pocket. Hey, thank you so much. And thank you so much for hopping in. Is it Nelzo? Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you a lot. Those are the things that I would really, we have another song coming up from you, I think after the next one. We can dig in a little bit deeper. It might be some of the same things that we need to apply to these different song structures, but I would focus on phrasing, repetition, and then finding ways to balance mixing a loud lead vocal in stacks over a 2-track. And that little frequency pocket between 1 and 3K is one of the best ways to do it. There's lots of different methods of being able to do that, but that's the easiest if you're working with some limitations. But y'all show some love.
Really
show
quick,
some love.
Zach, do you have a song called
resting.
Guns Up, Believe None But God? I didn't know if you wanted to listen to the other song back to back.
There's a 10
Oh,
minutes.
got you. Or is that not you? Let me know. Oh, that's like Torvik's ideal date right there, Mo. So y'all should definitely get something set up sometime. Not I, said the frog. Okay. So then it probably is a good thing that you're changing your name, since there is another popular Dr. Dreams, or not popular, but you know, somebody out there that's doing it. Absolutely. We want to start doing meetups. We should do meetups for sure. It'd be super fun. But the first step to that, guys, is joining the Discord so that we can all make sure that we're tapped in. It's like sad if somebody's not in the Discord and then there's no like way to know if they're like actually in the community. You know what I mean? That's like the best way that we can make sure to keep in touch with you. So highly recommend. Yeah, all genres, and then all levels of preparedness. Honestly, if it's not released yet, that's even more helpful, because then anything that Torvik provides as far as, you know, the mix, the master, or any feedback he gives, basically you can then implement before anything you want to implement from what he said, before you actually release it. Definitely hop in the Discord. I mean, we do have a broadcast channel on Instagram as well, but it just doesn't function the same as the Discord, of course. So I would recommend getting it, but of course that's also me being a little bit selfish. You got to catch up on some messages. Okay, so Dr. Dreams, we can talk a bit more after your second one if you'd like.
Same.
But I know you said you're aiming to change your name officially to your actual name, which I don't mind at all. I think that's a great plan. And especially if you're not missing out on a shit ton of streams or anything, like nothing's taken off yet for you anyway, then you really have nothing to lose. This is the time to do it. So I respect that decision, and I think it is a great plan. So on that front, let's go through the rough process that we tend to recommend, which is honestly just getting some kind of branding in order, some kind of identifiable brand set as the foundation. And then from there would be building up all of your social platforms with that identifiable brand and aesthetic.
Definitely,
and
Brian.
then it would be about consistently releasing from your catalog and marketing that, right? So that's just the obviously very basic protocol that we tend to recommend following. But of course, if you have any questions within that, then we can dive a little bit deeper and you can let us know. I don't know why I'm looking over at TikTok, because you hopped up on back over to Twitch. Beefy beef sticks.
Beef sticks. It's in the game. I don't know. Why are we doing that?
Yeah, definitely. We just had a really good metal song earlier.
Yeah, had some great rock today.
I'll definitely be here before my next song drops. My most recent dropped 20 days ago. Congratulations, Nels. That's awesome.
I love it, Nelzo. I love it, love it, love it.
So yeah, let's get into Sextuplet A.
Okay.
It's next song. And then that gives you a little bit of time. Dr. Dreams. I'm just gonna call you Zach.
It's
Zachary.
in the game.
Do you like Zach or Zachary? I don't know. Honestly, just change your TikTok name to whatever you want to be called, guys, because that's the easiest way for us. All right?
No barriers to
Zach
people
works.
finding
okay,
you.
Perfect. Or change your Twitch username. So Zach, just start thinking about, you know, whatever questions you may have as far as your distribution plan goes, you know, your branding goes. Any questions you have in that vein will be prepared.
What's up, Verseless? Okay, and then just checking if mine is in the when did you send in, Silvana?
I'm like, you're getting called whatever your freaking username is, all right?
So buckle up. I hope it's a good name.
Buckle up, bucko.
Buckle up, buddy. And thank you for the follow. Yo, it's chaos today.
We're stupid.
And appreciate the follow. Yeah, Silvana, let me know when you sent in. 15 minutes ago on email. Okay, let me double check for you real quick and make sure that it came.
Do you have a credit? Or...
Thank you for the follow.
Yeah, thank you so much.
They said they just sent through email.
What was your credit sent on?
Yeah, of course.
Thank you for checking in, because otherwise sometimes it does go miss.
I don't currently see anything for you. So let me know. Yeah, let me know where you sent credit, and I'm also not seeing an email unless it's under a different name.
!submit if you're on Twitch, although I also think it's pinned to the top on there. For the link. And then if you're on TikTok, just make sure that you go to the link tree in Torvik's profile and read through all of the steps. There's a link called Track Talk Submission. Just read through all of those steps there and make sure that you know how this live functions, what you're agreeing to. There's terms and conditions, all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah, this is the line right here. If you're on Twitch or YouTube, you can see it, or if you're on TikTok, that's where you'll Hopper, you can see the line, the minimum, all this stuff. If you don't see yourself on there, make sure that you have gone to if you're on TikTok, my my link tree, go to Track Talk Submission. If you're on the purple app, go to hit !submit, and there you'll see all of the steps. Make sure you follow and read through all of the details, follow all the steps.
We have 5 tracks left.
And you'll be ready
is that
to go.
accurate? 5 tracks or 4?
I believe so. Yeah. Of course.
Okay.
JRDA, just make sure that you follow all the steps. If
Yeah.
it just went to the email, that's one thing, but if you didn't follow all the steps, then I don't have it.
Exactly.
And I'll get in once you do follow all the steps, I'm
We'll
notified
know
on
if you
different
guys read through the submission rules.
Typically speaking, we're in the middle of a move right now. So typically we'd be in my studio and it'd be a little bit of a different environment. But we are typically live Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's been a little
No
bit
worries
more
at all, Mo.
it's been a little bit more inconsistent lately, just because we're in like a 2-month long expanded move
We're in an
across the
in-between
state.
spot, basically.
So it's in between, so it's not as consistent. When we go live, it's typically around 1 p.m. Central.
Typically it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but right now, like Torvik said, it's kind of up in the air. We just go whenever we can. We have a broadcast channel on Instagram, and then we also announce to our Discord before we go live. So if you guys are interested in that, you can definitely join those. Absolutely. Okay, so right now we have Sextuplet A up next. It's your second song for today, so I'm excited. And then, of course, if you have any specific questions on the branding, marketing, and visual side, let us know.
Definitely.
Otherwise, I will literally just keep talking about it forever because there's so much. We have to cut ourselves off, right?
Yeah.
We have to keep in mind that these are mini consultations and not hour-long consultations.
Right. All right. I think you said platforms, right? Protocol. Let me know. Just so I can confirm that it's the one that you wanted me to send. No.
Okay, perfect.
All right, platforms by Sextuplet A on all platforms. Let's get into it.
Such a cool sounding.
Getting into dark wave territory here too, which I love.
This. That bass is cool. Feel free to hang out and also check out the website.
Nice.
It's the first one.
It's the A's.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's nice.
Is that you playing that? I love your sequences. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Y'all show some love. That is Sextuplet A, which is a 6 A's on all platforms. You can go to Spotify, whatever DSP that you enjoy, and find the 6 A's that are Sextuplet A. That song is called Platforms. It's off an album that was just released. I think you said like a week or two ago, right? Not that long ago.
It's such a cool vibe. You did a really great job with it.
And what I love about this too, I love watching modular synthesis, live looping, like especially like with Ableton live synthesis looping and stuff like that. I got to see a guy in concert. It would have been probably 5 or 6 months ago. It was an opener for a band, and they were doing a whole bunch of. Thank you for the dog. Oh, I'm breaking. Actually, this is an unbreakable microphone, so I have it.
Yeah, that's the best one to run into.
Yeah, I can run this over with a car and it's not going anywhere. Thank you for the dolphin. I appreciate you so much.
I don't know. We should test that for YouTube.
I'm all right, but I've had this for like a decade and it's still clean somehow.
Literally.
Which is such a rarity for
it's not even scratch or anything.
SM57s. I don't know why I have babied an SM57. It's not what they're for. But anyways, side note.
I don't know why you would on the other end intentionally and purposely throw it around
for the gram, right? You got to run over some mics for the gram.
Okay, well that sounds fun.
Yeah, I'll just buy a bunch of like broken ones or something, and we'll test out the build quality of. Yeah, literally, this is like a desert, and I have some nicer microphones and stuff, but this is like a desert island microphone. Like it's I put this on.
Guys, if you're just hopping in, we have a few spots left for today. We have 4 tracks left. Someone in the 20, but of course, feel free to check out all of the information on what it is that we do here and
100%.
How it all works at the Linktree in Torvik's profile.
Absolutely. But yeah, this you put this on. I use it on snares and multiple drums when I have my drum set up. I use this on. You can use it on vocals. I use it on rooms. I use it to mic guitar cabs. I use it for
everything.
Have
a giveaway coming up
100%.
soon as well at the end of the live.
All right, let's get into this. Oh. That's what I was going to say is what I love about your music is for me having seen people do versions of what you do live, like live looping and stuff like that, especially with synthesis and modular synthesis and stuff like that. I can picture this. I can picture you like doing the synths and then you start doing the muted movements on the guitar. It's like I can picture all of this happening, which for me makes your music, even though it sounds crazy and creative and interesting, it makes it very like tangible to me. It's like it doesn't feel crazy just for the sake of crazy. It still has some musical elements to it that I think are really interesting. Let's run it from the top. This is Platforms by Sextuplet A.
What I love too is it's so easy to listen to. Like you do have those darker that good balance of like a darker dynamic with a happier balance, and then it's just so easy to listen to because you did so well mixing it and stuff.
100%. All right, let's run it from the top. There's one little thing with you have a sub bass that comes in at a couple different parts in the song. There's something with that that I'm kind of listening for on the mix. It offers this really cool warmth to the mix, and then sometimes it does muddy up with your progression changes. So I'll listen for that. But honestly, I just like what you do aesthetically. It's really cool. You got a lot of really cool things that you're doing, man. Like all of this noise, all of these like so noise sequences that you have are really interesting.
Yeah.
I'll always mention like some stylistic things, right? So if I'm going to say something that to me is a stylistic decision, to me, music is subjective. There's no right or wrong way to do things. There's no too much auto-tune or whatever. It depends on what you want a song to be, right? A bit crush everything. I love it. But there's some stylistic choices that I'll mention that I think maybe could serve the song better, that I might make it sound a little bit more palatable, a little bit cleaner, maybe a little bit more like professionally polished. Feel free to ignore all of them, right? You're the artist, you're the creative. If you had a vision, like if you have a vision for what you want your music to be and you execute that vision accurately, then you're correct. And nobody can say otherwise. No one can say it's too or not enough anything, right? It doesn't mean anyone has to like it. It doesn't mean anyone has to listen to it, depending on your taste and if that matches with other people's taste. But I just want to say, I'll say some stylistic things.
Thank you so much for the rose.
That I think could clean it up and could give you maybe a slightly better balance. But feel free to ignore all of it, right? There's no right or wrong way to do this. In this instance, you have this is C sharp minor, so you have this like you have all this extra movement, right? You have all this extra movement in the background from your sequence, but then you also have not only like really bright open, reverb structures that you have, like these big hall reverbs and stuff like that. But you also have like really long tail delays at the same time too. So as soon as you introduce that sequence for more than like 2 or 3 seconds, all of those signals just kind of blend. They all kind of become one big thing of noise. Some of that could be very much so intentional as you automate some things and you introduce some noise and you maybe, bring up some of those auxes. But it also does, you lose the sequence a little bit too. What I would recommend is, for one, you could automate some of that down by another like 10% or so to give you a little bit more clarity. And the other would be to shorten your tail dramatically, because there's so much movement behind what you're doing. You don't really need to fill much space. You just need it for color. You just need it for depth in the mix, right? So if you're going to add really big reverbs, it most likely does, because all of that moves into the room, right? So you get all of this like reflective space in the room, and it's reflective of your environment. Where most people, hopefully, obviously the goal is that this stuff gets millions of streams, hundreds of thousands of streams, tens of thousands of streams even, right? Like the goal is that you get as much movement for this stuff as possible. I would rely on the room that you're in to create that reflection, not create it just in your recording. Because if you play this at a festival in an open space, if you play this in a dance hall or something like that, and there's a nice open room and you got a nice array of speakers and some big, 418 subs at the front, it's going to crush.
Always going to recommend learning the craft.
Yeah, it's going to crush, man. It's going to crush completely. So I would pull back slightly on your like not generated as an AI, but like your generated reflection, like the reverbs that you're adding, and let the room do some of that work. That way, if you play this in a car, which a lot of people will, it's not noisy. If you play it in headphones, which most people will, it's not noisy. If you were to play this through just like a phone speaker, and then all you hear is at the top end of the mix because of those reflections, because of those reverbs, then that's going to be a challenge for where ideally the vast majority of people hear your music. The room's going to reflect. Room's going to make it happen. So what I would do, I like the reverb because I think it's a texture that you want in the song, and it's vibrant, right? It just, as soon as it comes in and you start to automate that up, it starts sounding crazy, and I love it. I think it sounds really, really nice. One fix to that would be to come down 5 to 10%, but also just to shorten it, right? Go from like 5 to 6 seconds on like a big delay tail, shorten it to like 2 seconds, where you only get like 1, 2, maybe 3 like extra echoes of that delay, and it doesn't run onto every other note that you have. So it'll like overlay the next 2 or 3 sequences or like patterns that you have in that sequence, but not any longer than that. And it's nice and short and tight. So you could crank that reverb to the max, but you can still hear the sequence. You still hear kind of like those plucks and those movements in there that to me are what make me feel the song. It's those kind of C# minor melodies that you have that to me make it so engaging. The cherry on top is the reverb and delay. So maybe even just shortening the tail of your delay so it still bounces over. You still get some layering. You still get some noise that you want in there. But it doesn't just become noise and muddy right after that. Small choice, but I think it does have a big impact in the mix. What you're doing sound design wise though, chef's kiss. Super cool. Your patterns are great. Your sequences are awesome. The tone that you're getting out of your synths, I think, is fantastic. Like honestly, from a skill standpoint, a sequencing standpoint, you're crushing it. Just be careful that you don't overshadow that with processing and ambiance where you actually lose the thing that you sequenced.
Yeah.
Because I hear the reverb tail after that, and it is a good 6 seconds long. Like you can hear that almost like it's almost like the Valhalla shimmer, like Valhalla Billions and Billions, like at the end there. So you get this like super long, like 6-7 second reverb tail at the very end that I think is part of what that tail interrupting everything else is a little bit what I'm talking about. Another option, side note to this, you don't have to do this, would be to sidechain that reverb to your sequence. If you have a really sharp staccato sequence, about 5 seconds. Yeah, the other would be to sidechain it to the sequence and have a really, really short release, like a really tight release to it. So you get a pump to your reverb every time your sequence kicks in. That's another option. That's getting pretty technical with it.
We're about to close the lines, guys. So just a heads up on that.
Thank you for the bros. I appreciate you.
We'll leave it open for the rest of this song. But otherwise, we're going to close it. And then we do have a giveaway coming up.
Yeah, I can hear that retrack. I love the bit crushing. It's like that Decimort 2 stuff, downsampled RC20.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
You can totally actually send today. If you want, it's up to you. We'll leave it open for now.
Okay, only other thing, I'll skip to the next section of the song. And again, strictly stylistic, so literally do anything that you want to. Feel free to ignore all of this. Is the progression of the bass. I like a large portion of it where you have the sub bass, which adds so much meat to the song. It adds so much warmth to it. I think it sounds fantastic. It doesn't follow any of the progression, so it sits on the C sharp, which is like that's your root of this song. Yes, dude, 100%. And like, dude, like 80s synthwave, dark wave stuff is like my jam. I love it so much. This is stuff that I love to create. It's my favorite stuff. So the root of this is like the C sharp minor. I would love maybe starting on just holding on the C sharp, the boom boom, boom boom, boom, and that being kind of underneath it while your other chords move, but then maybe transitioning to the boom boom, dun 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 dun. And like following the same progression, because then you also have all the like, kind of the other moves. You have that.
Yeah, you can do a friend of yours for sure.
Like
it's
you
more
have
like a consultation though, so if you stick around, you can see a bit more about what we do. Also, the link tree in Torvik's profile will provide you a lot more information, so you can read through all of that, how it all works and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We are about to close the lines for today, but we will do one more live for the rest of this week, so it'd probably be on Friday, I think.
Sure. So that idea of allowing the sub bass, because it kind of becomes the meat, it kind of becomes the progression of the song, having that low energy under your sequences here, instead of creating mud by not following it. I think the tension's good sometimes, right? Like you said, you love scoring. I'm in that same vein. So when you're scoring, you want to have some tension, right? You build up some tension.
Definitely
then sometimes following the progression after that gives you a release from that tension that feels really energetic. So those are some things to play around, right? No right or wrong answer. None of these things have to happen. They don't make it like necessarily good or bad. They just elicit a different emotion and a different feeling depending on how much tension you want to create and how much you want to like relieve the listener by having a structure that feels really consistent. Those are completely up to you. But your sound design's killer. I love the drums that you chose for this. They're really, really cool. I love so much of your sound design and your aesthetic. Let me get into the last 30 seconds here, but you're crushing it, man. Really, really cool stuff. So this kind of followed. It would kind of give it some movement, I think would be really nice. And follows the way that you have patterned your sequence in there too. Because your bass note changes there. If you follow that, super tight.
Sick. Super dope.
I love your work, man.
Me too.
You've gained a fan. You're really cool, man.
Absolutely. 2 fans, technically.
So fun.
Okay,
Yo,
so-
give it up. Amazing. I love it.
Honestly, it's kind of funny because we got 2 Zachs here, right? And it's y'all are in a really similar spot where everything that you're looking to do, you're both in the spot of like building up your catalog, and you both don't really have anything established as far as like an identifiable brand goes and like all of your platforms set up. So everything that we talk about can serve both of you, I think.
Got you, baby.
And essentially, I feel like the best way to, like, I don't, if neither one of you have a plan as far as what you want your aesthetic to be and like what you want, you know, the visuals to look like on every single one of your platforms and that type of thing, I highly recommend utilizing Pinterest. I don't know if you guys have heard us talk about this yet, but if not, if you don't already have a Pinterest account, it's super easy to make one. It's a really good visual platform, and all its algorithms are set out to do is to help you discover aesthetics and figure out what you like visually and all that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend starting a board for both of you for your music specifically. and Retrack is getting ahead of us, but essentially, yes. Once you start those boards on there at the beginning, you will have to search for some specific things, but really, you can post hashtag anything into your Pinterest board. Anything from outfits, so what you would wear to meet people, or what you would wear to an event, or what you would wear to one of your shows, something like that. Maybe what kind of art you like, nature, what else, guys? Let's see, list some things. Architecture. He has vintage cars, and
Yeah.
of course he has vintage
Everything is vintage.
we really really love vintage and antiques. Both of us are really
Yeah.
into that. So that's kind of what our aesthetics tend to lean towards. But you could also do like specific instruments, what you would want your studio to look like just basically want you to get in that frame of mind of picturing what you want your visual identity to be, to match with the really cool sounds that you're both putting out, if that makes
for
sense. It really is just as important as the sound, and so we really like to encourage people to put a bit of energy and effort there. And the good thing is that once you get it done, it's a one and done situation for the most part. Of course, people tend to rebrand down the line and stuff like that when they decide to, or if they decide to, but it really is mostly a one and done thing where you put energy into it and then you don't really have to think too much about it afterwards. Only little things like album covers, or if you end up putting merch out or anything like that, right? So highly recommend starting there. From there, whoever you end up working with when it comes to your branding, whether you hire us through Obsidian Key, because we would be so honored to have your service, but if not, whoever you end up working with is going to find it a lot easier to develop your brand when you have this already established mood board that you've been pinning to consistently. I hope this is making sense to both of you. Oh, check out my TikTok for some visual work. Awesome.
Nice.
Also, there's stuff on YouTube. Okay, very cool. Let me look that up. What is the YouTube I can look under?
Real quick, Gabriel, if you wouldn't mind, I got your email on the old email. If you wouldn't mind sending it to the updated submission form, it's the one that we've had for the last, I think, like 6 or 7 weeks at least. So if you wouldn't mind sending it there, that way I can get that
It's gotta
all
be
in the
longer
same
than
place.
that.
And also, really quick, a big shout out to Retrack for sending that extra credit to get.
Big shout out to Retrack. Retrack is
to
family.
get
We love you.
up on the board again. I appreciate you so
We
much,
love
man.
you, Retrack. You're the best.
All love.
Um,
You're totally good. Totally good. Exclamation point submit. You'll see the email pop
so
up
your
there.
visuals on TikTok are super, super cool. But it still stands that, obviously you do know how to do a bit of branding because you did it for this movie club TikTok account. You would essentially want to do the same thing for your music. You would want to have a music, TikTok, a music Instagram, a music YouTube, basically whichever ones you want to have. We're highly gonna recommend Instagram and YouTube as non-negotiables pretty much. But other than that, you can be pretty flexible with what you want to put effort into. If you want a Facebook is really good for bands and any DJs, like anyone who does live events and live shows. That's gonna be really highly recommended.
For sure.
But yeah, it just depends on what your goals are, how much energy and effort you're able to put into your marketing, all that kind of stuff, right? What can I look up as far as your YouTube goes? Do you have a YouTube for your music, or is it mostly just like your TikTok here, where it's for the movies and like visual videos side of things? So when I say visuals in this context, I'm meaning more so the visuals for
Gabriel.
your branding that goes along with your music, not just like if you're good at doing visuals, if that makes sense.
They might have even just wanted to showcase or just like let people know where to find their visual stuff, like the movie stuff that they're doing.
Totally. And please do drop it down here in the chat, and then definitely in the Discord as well. We have a promotions channel on our Discord, guys. We also have a community review channel on our Discord. So there's lots of opportunities in there to collaborate and to get some feedback in real time on your work.
Absolutely.
I'm not. Let's see. Okay.
Protocol 666 on YouTube.
Okay. Let me look that up.
Spooky.
Spooky.
Oh, spooky.
Ooh.
It's the spookiest thing I could think to play.
Protocol dash 666.
Slimothy, what is the comment that I always see?
I don't think this is you. There's somebody that's just protocol 666. So anyway, in the future, let's see. Maybe I could find it if it's linked to your TikTok. Let's see. Ooh.
I claim no negative energy. That's what I was thinking of. I always see it on someone's like some
Okay,
creepy
perfect.
thing.
It's actually linked in your TikTok, so that makes it a lot easier. Okay, and you have a decent sized description there, so I really enjoy that. So, are you aiming to release all of your music through the same account as your video stuff?
Or under a separate alias.
And if you are, I'm just trying to think of like, what that could look like.
Mm-hmm.
I think it could work, I mean, I tend to lean towards trying to do a lot of my stuff on the same accounts as well. I do a lot of different things and I only have one Instagram account, for instance, just because I can't even be bothered like to barely post on there.
Yeah.
Exactly. So thinking about, consistently posting on multiple accounts is like exhausting, even just the thought of it.
Kind of confusing because I'm making a movie and I'm scoring the movie, I'm writing an album. So it's all
you're a true creative.
Yeah, it's
genuinely. Yeah, and we relate to that a lot. Well, it's really up to you. So honestly, I guess the next steps for you would be to decide. Why does this get cut off every now and then?
And the band exists in the movie universe.
Oh, okay.
The witch nerd one. Yeah, I mean, I think more than anything, you have some like internalization you need to do to just like really decide like, what do I want to be like? Me as an artist, let's go full force with me as an artist.
Exactly.
What's the band and what role does that band play in the universe of the film?
Right.
And what's all connected and what's just me? Like what's...
So figuring out what those lines are and how you would ideally want things to be organized would be your next steps. And then let's see, I feel like I need to pick something to go forward with and not do so many projects. I mean, I don't think so. I think you can definitely do everything you're passionate about.
Yeah. We do.
Exactly. Yeah. It really just comes down to figuring out how to organize it. And there is a way to do that. So we could definitely help you do that in the future if you're interested in a longer form consultation, or, maybe you can utilize something like AI to help you make sense of all the different things that you're doing, all the moving parts to what you're doing, and figure out how to best organize that and make sure that it stays within your capacity, if that makes sense. So I think you have your next steps. That seems like the best thing to tackle next, and then from there we can have a lot more like specific feedback to move forward.
Appreciate the rose. Thank you so much.
So I hope that was kind of helpful. I understand where you are. I understand being like a true creative, just wanting to do so many things. It really just comes down to organizing it. So don't give up on any one thing that you're doing. I would definitely say if you're passionate about it and you want to do it, just do it for sure. But I can understand why it gets overwhelming sometimes to know how to organize it and where to put what and all that kind of stuff.
I think
so it's fun.
the biggest thing I think you can like start to think about and dissect a little bit is less about like what all the projects you want to do.
No, literally that you're literally you're explaining a lot of what we run into this all the time. Yeah.
But it's like it's kind of dissecting less of like what all of these things you need to like that you want to do and projects that you want to do.
I also relate to that. I'm not diagnosed, but I'm pretty positive.
Undiagnosed but likely.
I think he might be even a little more positive than I am. That I'm neurodivergent.
But right, it's what do you what do you want to do? But it's also flipping it to how will people perceive what I'm doing, right? So if people come across your page here, the Protocol Movie Club, and then they see music content from a band, and then you release something as this artist, the sextuplet, right? As this artist, and they're just like, well, I actually don't even, I like all the things that you're doing. I like all of the creative things that you're doing, but I don't even know where to go to find the thing that I like. So let's say I find the band, but then I see you post the A name, sextuplet A, and so I go try to search for that, but then I don't find the band, and all those barriers to people actually just enjoying what you're doing creatively. I think you can have it all. I just think you need to kind of compartmentalize what those things are to you, how you market them. Do you have separate pages? Do you have, a media company that kind of runs all of those things? And you have a band, you have a movie project, you have films that you're doing and short films, you have animations, you have individual productions, and you run that under one umbrella. I think you just need to, we can't really advise it. You just need to kind of make those decisions on what do you want those things to be, and then you can just run with them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then we can help you more specifically. But yeah, so just keep us updated throughout your process. Don't feel like you're alone in any of it.
100%.
Now that you came across this live stream and you came across us, we are so happy and honored to help you in any way
We
that
got
we
you.
possibly can, Zach. So thank you so much for joining us today, for sharing your beautiful craft, and just keep us updated.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Just as a reminder, guys, our website is theobsidiankey.com, so you can check out some of the services we have to offer on there. This live stream is set up to be a small taste of what we offer outside of this live stream, which is longer form consultations. So yeah, any way that we could possibly help you guys in your creative journey, we are here to do so.
100%. Y'all, show some love one more time to Protocol Movie right here in the chat, which is Sextuplet A on platforms. I love what you're doing.
Zach.
Which is Zach, which is Witch Nerd, which is 666 on YouTube. No, I'm just playing. I'm just messing around. Thank you so much for the gifts. I really appreciate you.
Yeah,
Thank you
we
for the
super
roses.
appreciate you.
I really like what you're doing, man. You've got me inspired to do more. Once I get my studio set up again, get my synths out.
Absolutely.
You got me hyped, man. I appreciate it a lot. All right, let's get into Gabriel on our last couple tracks here. I think we're probably just going to close it out with these last two. I might just go ahead and close the lines.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and close the lines for today.
And
then we'll do a giveaway at the end of the live, guys, so stay tuned for that.
So let me go ahead and close these. So Dr. Dreams, hey, much love to you too, man. Much love to you.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Thanks so much for joining today. And if you are open to it, we'd love to have you in the Discord.
Absolutely. And then we go and close this. Thank you so much for the follow, Angie.
Definitely a collab in the future would be cool.
Absolutely. You're gonna ask me for synth stuff twice. It's my jam. All right, let me close this up real quick, and then we'll get into our last two tracks. All right, Gabriel, hop in the chat. Let me know that you're here. Let me know that you are
on Twitch,
present.
I think.
Yeah, I think so. Let me know that you are present and accounted for. I've got your email.
Present.
This is Wrong V. There we go. All right. As soon as I see the name.
Yeah, perfect.
Boom. All right, let's run it. Any other details? Let me know. This was just like recorded last night.
Yeah, definitely. And I know you know the deal, so just let us know what questions you have specifically on any of it, and we got you.
I always love the vibes of the
find out.
Love your voice. I'm
Thanks
obsessed.
for the follows, y'all. Appreciate it. Tavo, how are you, man?
Super rough draft.
I can't live this life without thinking of you. Every time love's in the room, my heart feels so overused. And I'm sorry that I'm still a little confused. Your eyes had me on the moon, fell back to earth too soon. I'm asking you, oh, where did I go wrong? I'm starting to find out that everything is
The charger's too short.
gone, and I blame
It's still kind of in process, Tavo. It's been crazy.
Yeah, a little chaotic.
We'll mess.
blame myself for broken pieces.
Glad you're doing
Everything
well,
that
though.
we had before we started leaving each other in the dark. We were in the stars. Can't help my jealousy of memories. I didn't feel the gravity this hard. I need a reason put these feelings back down. It's got me thinking and I can't explain how. So where did I go wrong? I'm starting to find
The charger is like this long, bro. Like,
Got a micro charger over there.
everything is gone, and I blame myself. I'm caught in a landslide. There's a million thoughts in my mind, and all of them are crashing down at once. I don't have enough time to dwell on these past crimes. I can never bring this back, so I ask,
yeah, I can see what you mean.
where did I go wrong?
I always love your vocal layering.
I'm starting to find out that everything is gone, and I blame myself.
Gabriel's so talented, guys. He's over on Twitch right now. He's an OG. Him
I
and
like the
Kaden
vibes, man.
are
Always.
OGs.
Always love the vibes. Okay, let's get into it. Honestly, man.
Or I
this-
guess Gabriel is really OG, and then you brought Kaden in.
yeah.
So you're OG.
OG,
bro.
OG. I, as always, Gabriel, love the vibe, love the aesthetic,
Yeah.
love the mood of your song. Your vocal layering is always really interesting and super dynamic. I love it a lot. Remember, that's the best.
Ugh, ink.
Wait. I don't know how I'm really gonna remember this is the best. Okay, I think. Ink. Okay, I'm excited to break this down because there's a lot of cool things.
Ink is so funny.
Ink. I'm done. I was like, wait, hold on. Bobby, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you a lot. Let's dig into Pro Tools. Let's switch over here. I do want to.
It's totally fine.
you're totally
dude.
good,
We
and
can't talk half the time.
we
so.
can't, talk or think. So
And
I think
somehow we're supposed to carry it live
you're in
for
good
like
company.
hours on end. Like
here
what?
is what I.
And your songs are always so catchy too, because that's already stuck in my head, and I love it.
Here's what we got. Okay, here's where we're gonna go with this really quick. Let me get this.
No, please
pushed.
don't send it to the email. We are closed for today. But if you want more information on how it all works and how it flows, what we're about, what we do here, all the fun information, we have a link tree in Torvik's profile, and you'll see Track Talk submission there.
Okay,
We would love to have you in the future.
Of
Our
course.
next live should probably be honestly on Friday, guys.
probably Friday. Yeah.
If I had to
Appreciate you
guess,
hopping
I
in.
would think hopefully it'll be Friday around 1 p.m. Central, but we have another technician coming out for the freaking fridge.
It's been chaos.
So we'll see.
over here. All right.
But you guys know we have our broadcast channel on Instagram, and then we also have our Discord that we announce to before we go live. So
All right. I got Pro Tools open so you can see what I'm using here. I just have a little bass plugin going on here. So if you're on TikTok, head over to Twitch or YouTube and you can
yeah,
see
you can
what's
literally
going on.
see the DAW. Yeah.
You can see Pro Tools and everything that's going on here. So here's what I feel like is, as far as like missing production elements, Gabriel, because I think you produce all this yourself, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I know your music to be. So what I'm kind of listening for is the actual root line. So you have this fuzzy guitar that kind of does these. And then it does. It kind of does this whole thing right there, right? But what all the other elements kind of do is the C sharp minor. So what I'm kind of interested in is if you keep this, but you add in that C sharp. Now you have this like really cool like double minor progression. if you just hit the C sharp and the bass, that's really the only thing to me that's missing is you don't really have like a low end element to like kind of bleed into and like warm up the low end of the mix. It's a little bit more like mid forward. And so you are missing some of like the body that I feel like this could have. So let's listen to it and we'll kind of break it down, at least going into your hooks and kind of see how that sounds. And I'll just follow it's just an F sharp to C sharp. That's really all I think I want to do. Let's kind of get into it. Because most of your sound design sounds really cool. It can be polished. This is fresh. This is right off the press. It could be tightened up. It could be polished.
Yeah, of course. You said rough draft, so it makes sense.
Because that's an inversion of a C sharp right there.
Where did I go wrong? I'm starting
C
to
sharp.
find out
Now that fits with that vocal melody. That sounds tight.
that everything is gone.
Kind of ties everything together.
And I blame myself.
Same, dude. Even the best engineers and whatever.
Exactly, everyone's.
This life without thinking of you. Every time love's in the room, my heart
It's like all of this is following well. I really like it.
And I'm sorry that I'm still a little confused. Your eyes had me on the moon. Fell back to earth too soon. I'm asking
So like here maybe?
you, where did I go wrong? I'm starting to find out.
Yeah, that's cool.
Or even just
Is gone,
let it sit.
and I blame myself.
It gives, without it, you lose some of the context of the other notes. I think having a bass, now honestly, it's a bit noisy. Like now there's like, now it's like, okay, now I'm hearing all these other things. I think if you maybe strip some back, right, in my opinion, get like the, yeah, exactly. Now it's a little bit busier and muddier, right? So what I would probably do is establish your percussion, get the pattern that you want with your percussion, get all that energy where you want it, get the vocals where you want it, right? You can tighten up those vocal layers, polish the mix there. You're early, so you have time. I'm not going to dig into the mix part too much.
Yeah, exactly.
You got time to just even get there. You got to balance things, right?
He said it's a rough draft. So.
Right. So I just want to talk about the production structure mainly, which is one of your strong suits. Adding in I would strip back to percussion, strip back to bass, get those like right where you want it. Like we always talk about vocal, percussion, and bass. If your progression is clean, your drums are snappy and punchy, or just however you want them to be, and you have a good clean vocal, you can always fill in the gaps. And maybe once you have a bass in there and you know your progression is really solid between those two notes, you might want to change some of the melodies of your synths because they don't fit anymore or they don't quite feel as cohesive. And the bass will kind of tell you where you need to go if something is still feeling muddy. So I would definitely bring in a bass because that gives you the feeling and the body to your entire track. And then you can always clean up some of those other elements. Like, oh, all of a sudden that note doesn't fit. Change the note in MIDI, boom, you're done, right? You can make some small decisions to make everything point in the same direction. But I think bass is like the secret missing piece that just ties the whole thing together.
I blame myself for broken pieces, everything that we had
Does it
before
hit?
we started leaving each other in the dark.
I hear that little melody
We were
there.
in the stars, can't help my jealousy of memories. I didn't feel the gravity this hard.
And then I would get the all those extra movements right there. I'd probably like double track, pull them way back in the mix, put them wide in the mix with a bunch of reverb. That way your lead vocal still shines because some of those other melodies interrupt you a little bit, more on the mixing side, but also kind of on the vocal production side. Make sure that you're not stepping on your own toes with your own vocal to where you kind of distract away from what you're saying.
I need a reason I can put these feelings back down. It's got me thinking and I can't explain how. So
And then probably that first melody is really tight. The second one, you rush one of the lyrics there. So I would re-record that and get it really tight. Get those same. So let me hear.
we're in the stars, can't help my jealousy of memories. I didn't feel the gravity this
here.
hard. I need a reason I can put these feelings back
We
down.
love your retrack.
I love that right there. So the got these feelings. Make sure the second melody matches. It's close, but one of the lyrics at the end you maybe have to catch your breath, so you're like a little bit late on it and it feels rushed. Just make sure you comp that in, get it nice and tight, and it'll feel a lot cleaner. Here.
It's got me thinking and I can't explain how. So where did I go wrong?
Get that nice and consistent. And then
I'm
here.
starting to find out.
that right there. Or play around with them. Fills out the whole bottom of the mix. You hear how that low note on the guitar doesn't quite hit where the bass line is? It hits the A, but you're getting a lot of tension there. So watch that note, and then, or if you want to keep the note on the guitar, then you need something to support it with the C sharp.
I'm caught in a landslide. There's a million thoughts in my mind, and all of them are crashing down at once. I don't have enough time to dwell on these past crimes. I can never bring this back, so I ask, where did I go wrong?
Go back to the bass right
I'm starting to find out.
there. Your melodies are always so addicting,
I
dude.
know.
Like,
I love your music.
there's of course, like we said, dig into the mix. You're already gonna go through, I think, a lot of those processes. Like so I don't want to touch it, but like your melodies instinctually are like so like haunting, and just like there's something about the where did I go on? I'm trying to find out. Like there's something about the movement of your vocal in these layers that to me is like, I don't know, it's ridiculous. You're a really good melodicist and a really good writer. And so, I mean, just keep that as at the forefront of what you do. It's easy to overproduce some things. You need to pull back a little bit. And I appreciate you, Retrack.
Don't let us forget about the giveaway, guys.
Yeah. We're going to give away 20 at the end of the live. So y'all stick around. But like, yeah, your melodies and your a lot of your lyric
We'll do
structure
210s.
are so,
Or maybe just 120.
I think just one.
Just make it a big, make it a big one.
A big one. That way someone has some meat in the game when they get back in the live next time. Yeah, like it's really, really good. And so like I'm in that vote sometimes too, where like sometimes I might overproduce something. I need to rein it in, or it's like I put all of the melodies I like in a song, and I need to take like 4 of them out to actually make it palatable, right? To actually make it like clean. And there's sometimes where I feel like you could do that, where like you gotta listen to me, son. You know? It's like sometimes you might be in that same boat where you're like, I put a lot of things that I like it, but they don't all necessarily fit, and you might need to underproduce a little bit to make it feel more balanced, and just have room for all of your melodies, because you have a bunch of synths doing different melodies, a bass line doing a different melody, the guitar doing a different melody, and then you have layers, and then your layers are doing different walk downs and melodies. It can get noisy sometimes, but I feel like your intuition for your like lead vocal melodies and your layers and like your songwriting is really, really cool. It's unique. Like I know a Gabriel song when I hear it, and that just that alone, that thumbprint of your music is really important. Can it be polished? Sure, all of us can be, right?
Yeah, your music is already identifiable, which is fantastic.
That's powerful. That's a powerful thing to have, especially if you start to hone it in. I love it, dude. Super cool. Just keep chipping away at it. F sharp to C sharp. It gives context to all those other chords. Just that little bit of movement right there. What are we doing today? Shenanigans. They be doing some bullshit on TikTok.
It makes them do some funny puzzles.
Yeah, sometimes they just don't make sense at all. Man, show some love, man.
Cupid,
show some love.
Shuffle. Cupid. Shuffle. Down,
I'm back over to the chords. You think I keep them? I think I would prioritize. I was like, wait, what am I even looking at over here? Boom, there we are. We're back. I would prioritize vocal layering.
Yes.
Yes, no, literally. I would prioritize your vocal layering. Thank you for the rose. I appreciate it.
They started making it a little spinny one instead of like the puzzle piece.
And it's all like confusing. Sometimes you can't even see what it is. They're actually making it hard for real humans instead of robots.
No, you're a bot.
I would prioritize the vocal layers and strip back instrumentation first. just because I feel like that's a cooler thing to have. Unique movement and vocal layers and harmonies to me is more enticing than muddying it up with other things. As much as I like synthesis and other instruments and stuff like that, if you're going to prioritize one, prioritize the vocal, I think, and then only fill in the gaps with your synthesis in a way that feels like it adds to the vocals. You got me.
Thanks for laughing at my jokes, Slim.
You got me.
I love you.
That's what I was saying. I like your layers a lot. Right now, early in your mix, early in your production process, it is noisy, right? But I would prioritize.
What's funny is they're not even jokes.
Start by bringing down other production elements before you bring down vocals, because I think the vocals are a really cool part and a staple of what you do are those big vocal layers. And so I would just prioritize keeping those. And if it still feels noisy, take one or two out if it just doesn't quite fit. But Gabriel, I really love what you do. It's unique.
Always.
It's special. Your writing is interesting. I like it a lot, man.
You and Kaden both have a really unique style that is kind of similar to each other, but still you each have your distinguishing, factors, and it's really, really cool.
Kaden's song better be effing gorgeous by the time I'm done with it, because I had to spend 6 hours a couple days ago reconnecting 170 vocal files that were corrupted because of iCloud.
I'm excited. It's gonna be sick.
It was a nightmare, but it's gonna sound good whenever it's done.
Nightmare.
It was either that or lose the entire session and all the work that I did. So I'm excited to get that one finished out too. But y'all still some love to Gabriel. Gabriel, you're amazing. You're amazing, man. I really, really like what you do. I know, I am too. I'd gotten to a really good place and then had basically like a Pro Tools crash where I had like 600 gigs of audio files get corrupted by uploads to iCloud and a bunch of backups. And so like all of my most recent like 3 years of projects had like corrupted audio files. And I had to just basically like redo all of that and reconnect and link all of those audio files.
Gabriel K is kind of a fire name.
Gabriel K. Anyways, it was a nightmare. But now we can kind of get back to it.
You're a nightmare because you sharing your nightmare is giving me a nightmare.
That's rude. That's very rude. That's very rude. All right. We're going to close it up. Dr. Dreams.
I'm like, if I have to hear about this one more time, off with his head.
It was literally... I was
horrible.
I had taken like a day to just focus on all those mixes and like finish like three different productions and mixes and stuff like that.
Drop it in the Discord recheck. So
literally spent the whole day fixing computer stuff. So yeah, it was a bit of torture. All right, Dr. Dreams.
A bit of torture.
There's a bit of torture.
I'm so hungry and it's really hot in here.
It's very hot in here. What is the air at?
I don't know. I'm hating it.
All right, this is made this one when I wanted to feel something. This is Dateline by Dr. Dreams. Let's get into it. Last one of the day. Waves, what's up, baby? Good to see you, bro.
Hey, Waves, good to see you. How are you?
Of course, dude. Anytime, man. Anytime, Gabriel. All right, let's get it downloaded.
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love to have a consultation with you.
All right, Dr. Dreams.
Or if you only want to do a consultation with Torvik, that's completely valid too. If you're not ready for the branding stuff.
That's not valid.
We got you.
All right.
Either way.
We're doing all right, Waves. We're in the middle of this craziness, this crazy move of ours that's lasting like 3 months at this point. So it's a little chaotic around here.
We're basically in an in-between spot, and then in a few weeks we'll get to move into the home that we'll be in for a while. So we're excited about it. But yeah, there's been a lot of moving parts, and it's been interesting. We'll just leave it at that.
For sure.
Gabriel, we love you. You know we got your back no matter what.
Dr. Dreams, let me know. Talk to me about this track. We broke down the last one. Is this kind of in the same vein? Are you doing this as a part of that project as well under Zachary Fix, right? Under the new artist name. Let me know. Give me some context on what this is from. Is this also a 2-track or is it a multi-track?
Thank you so much. All love back to you, Gabriel. Thank you so much.
Love you, bro. Hope you're doing well, Waves. This isn't my next one.
Okay, cool. This has a cool vibe already.
It reminds me of artist, I can't think of his name.
Look at my lady, she look at the gray sky. Still remember the first time that we FaceTime. Please don't break my heart, or I might end up on Dateline.
Cudi. Kid Cudi. That's it. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Yep.
Oh, I waited, but you never called me back, so now I'm jaded.
That's not Cudi though, what you just saying, is it?
It's Cudi with Kanye.
What you said, we can take flight. Look at my lady and she look at the gray sky. I still remember the first time that we FaceTime. Please don't break my heart or I might end up on Dayline. Did you mean what you said, we can take
This is nice,
flight.
Zach.
Look at my lady and she look at the gray sky. I still remember the first time that we FaceTime. Please don't break my heart or I might end up on Dayline.
That's a bass. What are we doing? My native.
Did you mean what you said? We can take flight. Look at my lady and she look at the gray sky. I still remember the first time that we FaceTime. Please don't break my heart or I might end up on Dayline. Floating through static, so cinematic. Chrome tone ghosting with panoramic. Moon shit smooth, make the heartbreak vanish. She playing games, I reloaded the vanisher. Clean fit, sig, measure, move semantic. Heart been numb, now the grind do damage. Used to be blue, now the use organic. Cash tone warm in the crib, volcanic. Text,
Cool.
red, sea.
I'm glad you're already noticing it.
Once you hear it, that's why I always want to tell you what I'm hearing. Not even just the fix, but like what I'm hearing, so you can start to hear it for yourself.
Say she means
Yeah.
what we used to be. I'm like years up, that's a eulogy. What you think about you and me for? Baby, you know that's a closed door.
There's definitely some things that I feel like could be tightened up
Sure.
just so it's very like, you know, on the beat, on the nose, but the overall structure is cool. I like it.
I love that rolling bass.
And specifically your vocal is just dope. I like it.
Let's
a
go,
lot.
man. Show some love. Show some love. That's the family. Dr. Dreams. That is going to be Zachary Fix. I'm excited for you to re-release some new projects under your name, man. Yeah, this is a rough mix made in an hour.
Nice, okay.
Made in an hour. Okay, let's get into it. There's
Appreciate that context.
two things I want you to focus on. One, some rhythm structure in your vocal. There's some things that are rushed. I think some of it has to do with latency, so it's compensated for. So a good chunk, 80% of your vocal lines are like 10 milliseconds in front of the pocket. This beat has minor swing to it, meaning that it's north of the pocket. Like the hats and the snare are a little bit late in the pocket. That gives it that like relaxed, almost like lo-fi R&B feel. It gives it a really, really nice mood. But if your vocal's rushed, it increases angst, it increases energy, as opposed to making it feel chill and relaxed. So I would focus on timing of your vocals. First and foremost, I'd focus on timing in your vocals, in your like cadencing and phrasing. When you're recording, that's the most important part. Do that when you're recording. If there's still something that's either being like compensated for because of latency, because of your buffer settings or whatever it may be, then you just need to move things back in the pocket so that they kind of respect the pocket, respect the swing that the drums have, and it feels a little bit more relaxed.
That's exactly what I was noticing as well.
Wanted the angsty feeling like running out of time. Okay, so if you're going to do that, right? Because this is why I always say that if you have a vision for your song and you execute it well, then no one can say anything. It's not too fast. It's just what I'm hearing, and it might be in contrast to the vision for the song. So I'm going to make sure they point in the right direction, right? If you want a more angsty vocal, a faster vocal structure, you want it to be in front of the pocket, make sure every single one of your vocal layers follow that same direction. Once you get to your hook, there's a lot of mistiming with the vocals. So your layers aren't starting and ending their phrasing at the same time. And that's what's going to make your hook then not only feel rushed, but it's also going to make it feel like the timing is inconsistent. I'm not here to tell everyone to get a bunch of plugins. Either you need to comp really well, you need to get into Melodyne and get into some of your waveforms and make sure that your starting and ending phrasing is as consistent as possible. Get it super locked in, or you can use a plugin that I love and use all the time, especially for tight vocal stacks like R&B layers and stuff, is one that's called Project 5 Vocal Line. Yep, 100%. I would get all of those. That would be my priority. Spend 8 hours on it if you need to, right? Get it right. Get it chopped. Get it polished,
Totally.
right? There's a plugin called Project 5 Vocal Line. I use it all the time for like R&B vocals, pop vocal stacks, and it basically will take the transient form of all of your vocals as a source and line them all up. Things that used to take me 4 hours take me 20 seconds because of Project 5 Vocal Line. Now it's like a $200 plugin. I'm not here to tell everyone like, hey, the fix to your problem is spending a whole bunch of money.
Yeah.
You can do it. I did it for 15 years without it. It was worth the money for me.
It'll make you better
Yeah.
at your craft, right? So it's
100%.
good practice either way, but
100%. But what the end result is the same thing. Dig into that part of your vocal structure to get everything lined up. If it's not, it will sound low quality just because all of the timing is off. And so if you want to
instead of intentional.
right.
Which I that's why I was talking like earlier. That is what I was meaning is like I could picture what you're
Going for
exactly like what your goal is, but right now it's not captured properly.
Sure. And you want the whole point of the mix and the production structure and what you do lyrically is that what you're feeling, whatever your message is, whether it's hype, shake your ass, or it's like feel this, I'm broken. Doesn't matter what the emotion
Shake
is.
your
Yeah,
ass.
if you're whatever it is, you want it to translate. So if you want people to dance and move, you want it to translate. If you want them to feel something and for it to be dark and moody, you want it to translate.
No, I like that vision. I
Yeah.
think it's cool.
So if you want it to be angsty, you want it to be rushed, you want it in front of the pocket, make sure that translates and it doesn't just sound like you can't keep time. Because that might not be the case, right? So you're going to have to put in some work with that or maybe invest in a plugin to help you. But there's no right or wrong answer to it. Let's get into it a little bit. That was one of the biggest things. Ideas, and that's every single person as they're getting better at their craft.
Definitely.
That was me
That
for
makes sense.
That was me for a decade mixing before my mixes finally snapped together and I was like, oh, my idea for a good quality lead vocal actually sounds like a good quality lead vocal now. So I think you have to really just chip away at that. And part of it is, being here and being like, hey, I do want a rushed vocal.
Yeah, the fact that you're in here actively learning, wanting
Perfect.
to grow, it's awesome.
Perfect. Yeah, you're doing all the stuff you need to do. Just make sure everything points that direction, right? The other side is like make sure like you're doing a lot of 2 tracks, right? There's nothing wrong with that technically, but like you don't have any control over how the beat makes you feel. And in my opinion, the beat doesn't point there at all.
Yeah, I think it's Dr. Dreams something.
Yeah, I think on or it might be Zachary on. I can't remember. Yeah, let them know what your TikTok is so they can follow you over there too. There's nothing in the production structure that lends it. So like one way that could happen in a production structure is if there's some like noisy things happen that make it feel a little more anxious, a little more angsty. Like all of a sudden
Nice.
a really fast hi-hat comes in on the hook that makes it feel a little bit more rushed. There's things in the production that would tie those two things together. This like kind of like hip hop R&B beat is like very chill all the way around. Like it's very, very mellow, like old Party Next Door chill R&B stuff. So it makes it really difficult for you to carry the burden of making it sound angsty because nothing sounds angsty in the beat. It's very chill and very mellow. So I'll also keep that in mind. Like just as an example, if you have an idea, like maybe you get a song structure first and that's like your first idea, right? Like I want a song that's like angsty and it's got energy to it, but it's talking about the specific thing. Use that as like a criteria for when you're searching for your beats as well. And there's 50 chill R&B beats like this, right? Or I mean thousands of them, honestly. Thousands of chill R&B beats like this. Search through as many as you need to before you find one that meets the criteria of like, yes, this is chill. It's super open. It's got the platform that I want, but it doesn't have any angst to it, or it's too slow, or whatever it may be, and try to compartmentalize that and try to search for one that will lock in, that feels more tied to what you're trying to do vocally. That's very loose. Anyways, get everything pointed in the right direction. Let's listen to a couple little things, and then we'll close it out.
I'm really fiending.
This intro I like a lot. This intro to me was a fresh vibe for you, and I think you executed it a lot better.
I'm tired, really fiending, and now I'm bleeding. Tonight I'm bleeding for you. I'm really fiending. I'm tired, really fiending.
Like that's the repetition I'm looking for.
Bleeding. Tonight I'm bleeding, girl. I'm really fiending for loving now, trying to find the one that cares. The way you move, do you ever consider me? It's hard to walk away.
I was like, wait, what am I listening for? I was like, hold on. It kept switching to another song. I was like, what am I listening for?
That's the intro.
It's funny because it's kind of a similar intro. In a way, like it's a similar like dark intro.
No,
the
but
same
I was
thing.
like, this is not the intro that
I was like, wait, we heard this
That's
like
so funny,
it was
yeah.
like deja vu because I was like, I just heard this song yesterday. That's so funny. Yeah, we're back. There we go. We're
No,
back.
this is sick.
I do like your intro though. Remember. So
Shout out Young Swish.
I love that bass line.
I really wanna get to know ya.
Like that pocket to me is way cleaner.
I really think I need closure. Did you mean what you said? We could take flight. Look at my
And okay, then honestly, probably the last thing I'll say, because I already addressed a lot of those other things, is this is up to you and the way you want to structure your vocals. You need to decide where you want your focus points to be in your vocal structure. So you have this take flight, like this big vocal that comes in, right? And it just completely takes over the vocal mix. So then I miss the next 8 lyrics that you have there. Of course, yeah, got you. So you decide your focal points. So on that take flight, I would probably have that 7 dB quieter, way in the background of the mix with a long plate reverb and some chorus on it. And it's an additive to the mix. It doesn't take over the mix. So as soon as you start this first vocal line, your ad libs and your peripheral vocals take over your message, and then you miss again some of the strong suits of your music being your lyric structures and your cadences and stuff like that. So I definitely want you to get back into your mix structure with these songs and get a clean stacked lead vocal. So your lead and your doubles and your in and outs and accents, those are like clean and they're stacked. You can hear them in the mix. And then your additive vocals, your peripheral, like your ambiance, they do exactly that. They add a little bit here. They're in ambiance in the background. They give you a little space. They give you some echo and some reverb, a little bit of chorusing, some auto pan, whatever you want to do with them. But they never take over your message. They don't grab your attention and pull it over here. And that happens here. So you can hear when this first vocal comes in. Exactly. You have a main vocal that's like front and center. It's cutting through. I can hear your message. And then you have things that like flourish it. They have things that kind of bloom around it and pop around, but they never quite pull my attention away from that main thing. But when this take flight comes in, all of a sudden I miss your next couple lyrics, which of course we don't want to happen.
You mean what you said, we could take flight. Look at my lady and she look at the gray sky. I still remember the first time.
Like that, da-da. All of a sudden my brain is like, wait, I'm listening for that. But then I was like, wait, I just missed your last line and I'm missing your punches. I'm missing your like main lyric structure. So that's the last thing I'll say. Pull some of those back, be very strategic. And this just comes down to you write it down, make a list, make some notes on depending on the DAW, you can make notes on your channels, whatever. And so sometimes if I need, especially when I'm working on a client song and it's not mine, like when I'm working on my song, I typically know where I want things to go. But if I'm working on a client song and I can hear where the lead vocal is, I'll make notes. I'll be like, this is like lead vocal, double with this one, front and center. And then I'll hear it, da, da. And even if I'm like that note there, I'd probably put a note on there, be like, chorus reverb in the back. So as I'm like setting up the mix, I kind of know where I want to start positioning things. That might be something for you. Like make a note on your lead vocal channel that's like, this needs to be front and center. And then you start going through your channels. If anything is encroaching on that, you need to dial it back. You need to kind of suppress some things or process them a little bit differently. But I think honestly, the biggest thing that overall we've talked about is your vocal production, the way you structure your rhythms, your cadence, the balance of your vocals, the actual mix of your vocal. I don't mind. It's EQ'd pretty well. It's clean. It's not too like muddy or boomy or anything. It's not thin and tinny. It's not bright and brittle. Like it's a pretty good balance on your actual vocal. So props to you for that. It's not a bad mix on the vocal itself. It's just connecting that to instrumentation, timing it well, and positioning all of your peripheral layers. If you get that under control, I think you got a good record on your hands, man.
Absolutely.
Show some love, Dr. Dreams.
Also, since you did give us your socials and stuff, I did check out your Linktree and your Instagram, and you do actually have a really cool vibe starting to go for you. So I'm excited to see you develop that more. And when the time comes to set up your Spotify, maybe just you could start working on your description now. That way you have all of it just and it's plug and play. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, of course, Zach, you know where to find us on your journey. We are here for you, basically, however we possibly can be. It's been an honor to hear your work today and
glad we got to
to
hear
have
too.
you as a part of the Vibe Tribe now. I hope that you'll join the Discord. If you didn't get to already, it's !Discord.
I love it, dude.
Yeah, no,
Perfect.
you have a really cool
Perfect
vibe
timing.
going for you. I really like the aesthetic of like a darker feel mixed with some brighter elements like
Yeah.
flowers and stuff like that's very in my lane as well.
Love that.
So I'm into it for sure. So I'm glad to see that you have an aesthetic beginning to take shape. And then, of course, like we've mentioned several times, now you don't have to do your journey as alone. We have the obsidiankey.com. We have the Discord. You know, we have a full community page on that website. So we would love to have you check out more of what we do and just plug in and tap into the Vibe Tribe.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, guys, I think that's gonna close us up. We do have a giveaway to do, so we're gonna give away 20 in credit,
So
and that is thanks to Kaylin. Also, big shout out to Retrack, was super
the family, man.
super generous today.
Appreciate y'all
We just
so much.
absolutely love you guys. It's a really generous community, and we're just so honored to be the facilitators of it.
All right, let's do so
So-
for this giveaway. Let's just hop in the chat if you want to be in this giveaway. It's slim right now, anyways.
Yeah. We got 6 on TikTok, which some of them may not even be present because I don't think Joseph's actually here. So let's see. Unless he hops in, let's see. And then we got 4 on
Protocol. Appreciate you, Dr. Dreams.
Big love, Dr. Dreams. Yeah, really, Zach. I'm gonna start calling you Zach because I know that's what you're gonna start going by. And Zach, stick around really quick if you want a chance at getting this 20 giveaway. So yeah, we got Protocol. Let me just make a note. Yeah.
We got
Zach, do you want to be in this giveaway really
got
quick?
you, Grim. Let us know if you want to get in this giveaway. We're giving away 20 in credit for the next live to get y'all up on the board and boosted.
Anyone brand new, I'm kind of like, I don't know if they're gonna hop in. You
Right,
know what
yeah,
I
let me
mean?
know.
So it's like I don't want to save credit for someone that's like doesn't even know what we're doing.
For sure.
Okay, no worries
Of
at
course,
all.
yeah, no worries at all.
the
Have
play
fun.
goes well. Yeah, that sounds really cute. I like that.
Thank you, Protocol. Thank you for the roses. I appreciate the gifts, y'all.
It might be Protocols, honestly.
Last chance, y'all. 5,
20 in credit
4, 3.
is going
2,
to
1.
Protocol.
You got 20 in credit, baby. So you got a boost on the board
Yeah, it'll be
next
saved
time
for you.
that you come in. So let me get that saved right now. So it's already there.
Big love, guys. Thank you so much for an awesome live today. Specifically, the Zacks. You guys were awesome.
Zach's crushed it today. You got 20
love.
credit waiting for you.
Shout
You already
out.
got yourself up on the board next time you come in. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all so much. We'll be back most likely on Friday, so make sure you're tapped in. Follow us on all platforms. Go to my link tree. Click
Yep.
on all the
Do
icons
all
at the
the
top.
things.
Do all the things. Love y'all.
guys.
Have a great rest of your day. Peace.